Breathe.
I'm seeking happiness amidst the trouble. I'm reaching out for this against the struggle. Visions of how it should be got me drinking double.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of the Morning Trap. I am your DJ and co-host, James Bubba Williams. Better take you out today, better known as DJ Exclusive. Got a great show coming up. Make sure that you pop up, take it out, and let's get it.
Making me darker. These clouds gotta clear faster. I'm wrestling with my dreams in relationship to my future. Only thing I can count on is my patience and my computer. I'm usually bringing good vibes. Trying to get back to that and having a good time. I'm making space for the happiness that I could find. I'm trying to get back on track and make it for good this time. Ice cream sundae, run way down a one way. I get it right one day, I get it right one day. And word what some say, still do it how I wanna do it. Still do it how I wanna do it. I'm saving room for dessert and I need all them toppings. I'm talking big shit popping. When it comes down to it, I know can't nobody top it. And they ain't never gonna stop it, oh no. What's the price of reflecting? What's the price of a section? I'm comparing investments.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome on in. We're going to get started here real shortly. I am your DJ Exclusive, James Bubba Williams, coming at you another day of the Morning Trap, y'all. Monday, January 25th. Got a great show coming up for y'all today. Make sure that y'all stay tuned in. We're going to get started here shortly, y'all. The Morning Trap. Let's go. Let's go.
Till my ego removed. Been through hell with a view. Tell that girl to come through. Tell the world to salute. I prevail in a few. Banging Mahalia Jackson. My soul need to feel something. I gotta stick to my roots and make sure the veil love it. I gotta stick with the truth until it reveals something. Through all the blood and the bruises, you know I'm still Ice cream Sunday, run way down a one way. I get it right one day. I get it right one day. And word what some say, still do it how I wanna do it. Still do it how I wanna do it. I'm saving room for dessert and I need all them toppings. I'm talking big shit poppin'. When it comes down to it, I know can't nobody top it. And they ain't never gonna stop it, don't know.
I'm a child of Rick G's and Bun B, of Com 5, Tip, Big L and Dre 3. Hip hop, funk and soul don't raise me. Said hip hop, funk and soul don't raise me. Child of the Riz and Starsky, of Pac, J5 and the Don B.I.G.
Shout out to everybody that's already joining and checking in this morning. I see y'all in the chat room going here. Score Games, Trap Squad, what's going on, y'all? Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of the Morning Trap. I am your DJ and co-host, James Bubba Williams. We'll get started here shortly, so make sure that you tuned in. Make sure you got your coffee, your drinks, and get ready to go, y'all. It's going to be a good one.
Rules don't apply to those who create pieces of art that would eventually change the face of industry-leading media, exposed in the face of the masses. Can tell what's real and be able to choose a fate better than last. Regular cats cannot relate. Dapper is jam, blessing the fam with heavy eights. Rhythm is strong, memory long like in a state. When the beat drops, I can't call on single takes. No need for a hook when I'm on one. See you all catch in a vibe in the long run. Been a G lacing a beat like I'm Don Juan. This verse ain't for the weak, it's for the strong ones. Looking for something better to clutch. I reconstruct with a single stroke of the brush. My mental pros got them intellectual stuck on what my flow can do with just a touch. They're wondering how, what, and when I'll strike. Got folks full shook with my pen, telling me I can't do what I do. When I rap fools, I come through with high tens. Breathe. You better breathe. Breathe. Yeah. I'm a child of Rick G's and Bun B, of Com 5, Tip, Big L and Dre 3. Hip hop, funk and soul don't raise me. Said hip hop, funk and soul don't raise me. Child of the Riz and Starsky, of Pac, J5 and the Don B.I.G. Hip hop, funk and soul don't raise me. Said hip hop, funk and soul don't raise me.
No games to play, 'cause you're not fair, my friend. You play.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of the Morning Trap. Got a great show coming up for y'all, so make sure that y'all get ready to stay tuned. Shout out Chuck Diesel, shout out everybody that's in the chat room, checking y'all out, making sure I can see y'all. Orlando, I see you, what's going on? Shout out to everybody that came out and joined us at the Patreon party as well, too, this past Friday. It was epic. Mr. Milk. It's the Morning Trap, y'all. Y'all stay tuned.
to let you know. I'll let you know. I won't be playing this game. It's your turn to lose, baby. It's time to bluff, my friend. Bluff, my friend. Never know. Never know. I won't be playing this game. It's your turn to lose. It's time to bluff, my friend. You never know if you never dare. No games, my friend. You play no fair. This game is no place, big places. You'll never care, you'll never care, you'll never care. Now I dare to let you know I won't be playing this game no more. To lose, it's time to bluff. No, I'll never know, but I dare to play with you, babe. I dare to play with you, babe. You don't ever dare. You won't ever dare. You don't ever dare about me. No.
When all the food's gone and the dirt's filled with trash, is that when they realize you can't eat cash? When all of the water is brown and smells funny, is that when they realize you can't drink money? Yo, it's time to wake up, it's time to wake up.
Wake up.
It's time to wake up, it's time to wake up.
Wake up.
It's time to wake up, it's time to wake up. Before mankind and Mother Earth break up. Hello children, welcome to the space station. I'm glad you chose our program for your summer vacation. We sent you the history of Earth, I bet you read it. Cause instead of goofing off, you're here to get some extra credit. That's good. Education lead to success, while ignorance and hesitation lead to a mess. And yes, I guess I'm speaking of the 21st century. To manifest your holograms and follow along mentally. As you can see from these primitive videos, humankind didn't really know that they were getting close to the events that would cause their extinction, because they were distracted by so many new inventions. And who could blame them? They rode in self-driving cars, using virtual reality goggles to fly to Mars. While on Earth, the dirt and air were getting kinda strange, full of plastic and smoke, causing global climate change. And while the rich men watched their salaries grow, people ignored reality and watched reality shows. Sometimes a news channel let the truth break through, but then a different news channel labeled that fake news.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome again to another edition of the Morning Trap. Monday, January 25th. I am your DJ and co-host, James Bubba Williams, better known as DJ Exclusive. We got a good show coming up for y'all, man, so make sure that you stay tuned. We're going to get started momentarily, y'all. Make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe so you always know when we're going live. Let's get it, y'all. Good morning.
It's time to wake up before mankind and Mother Earth break up. Now, before the telepathic implants in our heads, people used to connect using the World Wide Web. They called it internet, where different types of social media store their information, sort of like encyclopedias. This medium became the primary tool for self-expression for kids starting from primary school. They formed groups, sometimes as big as 10,000, then sent their sentiments out to all their friends browsing. Now on that day when the bees went extinct, that's when the children pulled humanity from the brink. The hearts of the youth were clear and saw the truth, not jaded like adults trying to make an excuse. They saw the proof of impending doom, so they acted, connected real fast while the parents were distracted. A massive movement formed overnight, demanding widespread change and governmental oversight. The kids exploded because their future looked broken, and it was potent. It made the parents' eyes open. Who was more important than spaceship Earth? The president disagreed, so they replaced him first. It spread globally, priorities changed totally. Inspired by kids, countries cooperated openly. A century later, with great celebration, it's official. We take the planetary space station.
They say to raise a kid, it take a village. That's the way it's been and the way it still is. It don't matter if you're broke or making millions. You need the real ones, the folks, never fucking feelings. It's obvious now, the sprouts is out. We gotta evolve and fight to be the top of the pile. For the king of the hill, that crown gets so heavy. It's lonely at the top and hard to hold steady. Power hungry fantasies cause insanity. It's family that gives you power like Stan Lee. Not a cow, but a stampede, understand me? Cause when your head's in the clouds and you can't see, that's when you fall for that old trick to fight and conquer. But multiply with that many times stronger. I got a team, so my dream's gonna last long. And I don't fall for the
Win Williams, good morning, y'all.
If you wanna
Ursula, I see you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Y'all come on in and get situated, settle.
Right by my side. Right by my side. Right by my side. Right by my side. Life happens in cycles, circles like vinyl. First to the final, staying tribal. Always works for survival, so I don't stifle that urge cause it's primal. Human beings don't work alone, take you and me. Add 2 or 3 more, now you got community. Add 4 or 5, the tribe grows beautifully. The song of unity, I sing along fluently. Different strokes for different folks, but when we roll different boats, it gets difficult. When we band together and stand together, we can make a city, state, or planet better. Middle syndromes that break us down by 10 tones should have been gone. And in the past, like Flintstones, we sing songs to wake you up like ringtones of one tribe and unified we're strong.
Why
like
you tryna play me? Telling me I'm crazy. Tryna prove me wrong in every fight. Knowing that I'm right. Why you tryna wreck me? Always wanna check me. Wanna call me out in front of friends. Careful where you tread before this ends. You love me and I love you, but butting heads is what we do. Bullheaded, stubborn, wild, crazy lovers. You love me and I love you. Why can't we just match the two? Why we get so mean? Light the match, I'm kerosene. We're fire. Oh, baby, we're fire. Feed the flame. We're fire. Oh, we're fire. Say you love me.
Shout out Infinite Content, man. We hope you get better real soon, brother. Praying for you, man. As always, let us know if you need anything. We got you, Trap Squad.
You love me and I love you. Why can't we just match the two? Why we get so mean? Light the match, I'm kerosene. Why you tryna play me? Telling me I'm crazy. Sitting on the other side of me. Always cross-examining. Don't you think it's silly? Why won't you just trust me? Why can't you just look me in the eye? And no, I never lie. Why you tryna play me? Tell me that I'm crazy. Tryna prove me wrong in every fight. Knowing that I'm right. Why you tryna
fighting? We've been fighting for so long now. Tired of trying, cause everything I do is wrong. I open my heart up to you. Now you act like that's an issue.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of the Morning Trap. I am your DJ and co-host James Weber Williams, better known as DJ Exclusive. We got a great show coming up for you this morning, so make sure that y'all stay tuned. Get your coffee, get your drink, get your wine, whatever it is that you need in the morning to get your day started. But make sure that you just keep it locked and stay tuned, y'all. Great show coming up. Let's get it. Morning Trap.
Give me a sec to think it over before it's over. I don't really wanna be your girl tonight. Hanging with your friends, that's all you do now. Always lying when you open up your mouth. I wanna give in, wanna trust you. Sometimes it feels like I don't know you. So tell me what I'm supposed to do. I just need to know you want me to. I don't wanna walk away. Boy, it's hard for me to stay here. My heart is in the way, but I gotta look out for me. I don't really wanna be your girl tonight. I need a break from you, baby. I'ma call my girls, I'll be alright. I'm tired of fighting with you, baby. Give me a sec to think it over before it's over. 'Cause I don't really wanna be your girl tonight. I don't wanna walk away, but boy, it's hard for me to stay. My heart is in the way. I gotta look out for me. I don't really wanna be your girl tonight. I need a break from you, baby. I'ma call
Shout out to everybody this morning that's in the chat room and check it out, man.
Give me a sec to think it over.
Shout out to Mundell that's in the building, everybody that's in my ear this morning. And he better be glad I can't see him yet, so.
Not tonight, no.
Shout out to Frederick Douglass in the building, y'all.
Not tonight, no.
Freddie, y'all. Freddie Douglass, y'all. Freddie, y'all. And if you don't know who Freddie is, He'll be on the screen momentarily. So y'all just wait a minute.
Look at that girl over there. Smile that shines.
Good morning,
so
everybody.
brightly.
Welcome again
Just
to
make
another
your
edition
way
of
over
Morning
here.
Trap.
You dare.
I'm your DJ and co-host James Williams, better known as DJ Exclusive, y'all. We got a great show coming up, so make sure that you stay tuned.
You say, she said, all right.
Everybody will be coming on screen momentarily, y'all, so y'all get ready.
I'll show you things you never seen before. Let's take a trip all around the world. Buy you the finest things you deserve. You need a man who's gonna put you first. Let me be the one. Yeah. Let me be the one. Let me be the one. Let me be the one. Yeah. I really like the way you move. The way you move that body so icy. Body like a centerfold. So cold, yeah. Can't take my eyes off you. I'm loving everything that I see. Can we get up out of here? Let's go. She said, alright, what we doing tonight? Stick with me, I'ma change your life. I'll show you things you never seen before. Let's take a trip all around the world. Buy you the finest things you deserve. You need a man who's gonna put you first. Put you first, yeah. Let me be the one. 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 Be the one. Let me be the one. Yeah. Let me be the one. Let me be the one. Let me be the one. Yeah.
But she look good. You ain't gotta stand in the mirror with your makeup on, cause you know that take way too long. I just want that right now, girl, you Uber outside. I can't wait just to get this on it. You want it right now. Want it right now. Don't take too long. Want it, yeah. You want it right now. Want it right now. Don't take too long. Get it, girl, you know I'm impatient. Don't keep a nigga wait. Girl, it's been too long. You know what I've been craving. Girl, I'm tryna taste it. You know what I like. Don't it get freaky in the night. When she hit the room, you know it's on sight. And she all on my type. And you know I don't like to wait, no.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of the Morning Trap. I am the DJ and co-host James Williams, better known as DJ Exclusive. Got a great show coming up, y'all. We're gonna get started here momentarily. Shout out A Guys and Trap. Good morning. I see y'all out there. Good morning, y'all.
Want it right now, don't take too long, don't take too long. I've been waiting on you to pull up, girl, I know you got a member, he can stay at home. He don't need to be around when I'm taking you down. Damn, that drink too strong, we can roll up. Now baby, just hold up. Say you got a friend, bring it in, we can do what you wanna. I know you need it, not to sound conceited, but girl, I complete you. I don't wanna wipe you up, no. But she look good. You ain't gotta stand in the mirror with your makeup on, cause you know that take way too long. I just want that right now, girl, you Uber outside. I can't wait just to get this on it. You want it right now. Want it right now. Don't take too long. Want it, yeah. You want it right now. Want it right now. Don't take too long.
We've been fighting every day now. It's hard to breathe, yeah, I think I need to break out. I don't know what to say now, cause everything I do just don't feel right. You be going through my phone like trying to find something while you don't trust me. I got this feeling I'll be much better on my own now. There you go, with apologies, it's alright. You don't mean it, and I don't wanna try no more now. It's too late, I don't wanna hear you say I'm sorry. It's too late, I don't wanna hear no more excuses. It's alright, see I'ma walk away cause I'd rather be alone now. It's alright, girl, you better recognize, yeah, I got it. yourself the chance and you blew it. All you wanna do is pick a fight. And I had to be the bigger man, always saying what I don't do. Give you everything I had, still it ain't enough. I got this feeling I'll be much better on my own. There you go, with apologies, it's alright. You don't mean it, and I don't wanna try no more now. It's too late, I don't wanna hear you say you're sorry. It's too late, I don't wanna hear no more excuses. It's alright, see I'ma walk away cause I'd rather be alone now. It's alright, girl you better recognize, I got it, I got it, keep your apologies, it's over you and me, so save your sorry.
Call me goddess or a god, whichever one. Give you some to rub along. Throw it back, depending on what level you want. If I give you my handle, then you can handle these handles. And you can call me the
Shout out to everybody that's joining us this morning. Got a great show coming up.
Put my face on your mantle. Call up your friends and those plans will be canceled. Turn up the music, it's about to get loud. Get loud. Crank that shit up, it's about to go down. Go down. Can't hear what you said. Say with it in your face. Did you hear me the first time is what he said? I said no, baby, let's go back to bed. I'm a fantasy, so hold on to me. And all my fans wanna see all this booty. You will look.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming on screen now, joining us, we have Ben and Rebecca. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, good morning.
Yo.
Welcome.
Yo. What about me?
Yo. Oh, Rondell, you here too? Well, that's all right. We just doing a real quick intro. Well, that's what's going on. We got the whole crew this morning. Can the audience, can y'all hear Mundell?
I wish they could. I wish they could. I really do. I wish they could.
Real quick, we just going to give you a quick snapshot. We got a lot of great news coming up. We got some images from some supporters. We're calling it the Comet Trap. We got to show you that. What else are we looking at, Rebecca?
We're looking at some COVID-19 updates. We want to get the people to understand what's happening right now. I know there has been a lot of information out there, and we're going to give you the latest in that, as well as a little bit of more information on the woman who stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop and how that is systemic. A lot of systemic issues with that. We're going to get into that.
Then we're also watching the impeachment watch. Donald Trump looks like he is going to get possibly found guilty, but that depends on if we can get 17 Republicans to sign up for it. And then last but not least, Sarah Huckabee Sanders thinks she wants to run for governor of Arkansas. We're going to roast her real good so she can realize she need to stay her butt home. That's it. All right. So when we come back from the opener, we're going to have the whole crew with us. We're going to talk about all these stories. DJ Exclusive is in your hands, and Dwayne, it's in your hands. Let's go. Good morning. This is the Morning Trap. All right. Good morning.
Good morning. It's me, Ben. You speaking over me as if I have this manly voice. And sometimes in the morning I may give that. But good morning, everybody. And welcome to the Morning Trap, where you wake up with us and we want you to stay woke and enjoy the information that you get. Today we have a lot of news. We got the whole family in here. We got Ben in the house. We got Mondell. We got Marcus. And of course we have our favorite DJ, Bubba. Everybody say hello.
Good morning.
Yo. Good morning.
What it do? Mundell over there looking like Luke Cage.
He really channeled it today. Is that a yellow sweater? He channeled it. Yeah.
It's got a hint of yellow in it.
Look, yeah, it's giving me that. Marcus, of course, with the hat. And I like the glasses today. I like that.
Wait a minute. Is that a chinchilla? What kind of jacket is that? Is that fur? What is that?
Is it fur? It's giving fur.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, we can't say that on air because then.
But why we can't hear Mondale or Marcus?
Because then people gonna be attacking us. So let me take that back. It definitely ain't fur. It's just fly. What's going on, fellas?
It's rattlesnake skin.
Right.
Pure.
Yo, Wildcats. That said, let's pull up. I want to pull up on the screen the image that was done for us by a cartoonist by the name of Letterhack. Now he's notorious on Twitter for doing amazing images, but he did this image that you see on your screen now of the Trap Squad. You got Captain America, DJ Exclusive at the top. You got Wolverine hybrid with Black Panther. You got Luke Cage in the form of Mondale Robinson, Catwoman, Rebecca Azure, and then at the bottom you got me hulking out with my temper tantrums as David Banner / or is it Bruce Banner? It's Bruce Banner.
It is not David Banner, sir.
I always get those mixed up. Shout out to
it's a tiny bin at the bottom for me. It's
right.
It's accurate. It's accurate to height.
Yeah, the details. It's the microphone in Bubba's hand. You got the perfect hairline when he doesn't wear his hat on Marcus. I love it with the glasses. Right now, Mondale looks exactly like this photo.
Like Luke Cage.
Right now. It's my high bun and my hoop earrings and my claws, of course. And I absolutely love how they got you in their bin as a smaller man.
Wow. Thank you for emphasizing my diminutive status.
I'm kidding.
It's cool. It's fine. But I'll hulk out on everybody, which is why I try to keep everything under control. Not David Banner, but Bruce Banner. But no, we're really special thanks to Letterhack on Twitter. Make sure you follow him. I believe his handle is @Letterhack. Be sure to follow him and share his work because he's been a supporter of Clickbait. He's been a supporter of The Morning Trap, and he's been a supporter of the Benjamin Dix Show for some time. And I think this is amazing work. What do y'all think? Squirrel Gang in the audience, leave your comments in the comment section. Good morning to everybody on the screen. What's going on otherwise?
Politics,
Marcus and Mondale.
It's super crazy.
Super crazy,
man. I know we're gonna jump into some of the stories, but it was a busy weekend.
Yeah.
If you're a political junkie, it was a busy weekend. A lot of the behind the scenes stuff happening. Republicans abandoned Trump,
That's actually one of the big stories is the fact that the impeachment process could proceed. You would think, and I think Donald Trump thought that the impeachment process wasn't going to proceed, but it looks like some Republicans have some other stuff to say about it. So we got to keep our eye on that. Marcus, how you living this morning, man? What you watching on your radar?
I'm chilling, baby. Chilling.
That's what's up.
Sanders. Announced for governor this morning, man. I watched that like, the hell? How you gonna separate yourself from Trump? And then, if I'm her opponent in the Republican primary, I'm gonna eat her ass alive.
Period.
Yeah, no. I took the COVID vaccination Friday, and Saturday I was all good, and then Sunday I caught all hell. Actually, Saturday I caught all hell. I took it Thursday. Saturday I caught all hell, and come to find out it's normal. So I thought I had caught COVID. So I literally got a test, and it was, and I tested negative, but I had all the symptoms of COVID for about an hour and a half. Wow. And what I'll say to you is very simple. You got to go through pain to get it. But if everyone who gets that vaccination, 1 out of 4 people will get symptoms from the first shot. And this is the Moderna vaccination. And then what I understand is like 1 out of every 1.5 people will get some kind of symptoms after the second shot, right? So don't let it put you down, and don't let your family get you all paranoid that you got COVID all of a sudden, because my family was literally like, oh, you came our house and got COVID and came from Atlanta and got
because you was at your mama's house this weekend, bro.
Yeah, no, so nah, man, it was a tough weekend for me, man. I got better yesterday. It was like my fever got up to 103, and then 2 hours later I was at 98 again.
Okay.
Wow.
You know.
So I mean, it sounds like it's doing its job, but it's just not a pretty job that it's got to do. It's a couple of bumps.
If that's the way that vaccinations work. I mean, I was a paramedic in the military for a little while, and in the civilian life, I know how vaccines work. You catch, if you get the flu vaccine, you might catch the flu for a couple hours or a day. I may expect the same thing, but I just didn't expect it to hit me because normally I'm the person who's like asymptomatic with everything in my family. Everybody else was running around eating dinner, going walking and stuff like that, hanging out and playing video games, and I'm in bed with a cover over me like I'm going to die.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was my weekend.
Well, I'm happy that you got through that, and I actually, it's a big thing for you to share that because a lot of people need to know, different experiences, and there's so much misinformation, and for you to have like a hands-on experience with that, but also letting people know not to fray away from getting the COVID-19 vaccine because it still is very, very important. And these are just side effects that may come with getting the vaccine. But hearing your story, like I said, if you just would have told me that you was sick and that was that, I would have been like, it's a no for me, dog. But, you saying that that's a part of what comes with it. It's understandable. So,
yeah, I think, it's more information, man. So first of all, Marcus, thank you for sharing that you got it, because a lot of folks are just so paranoid about doing it in the first place that, that it's going to take people willing to, don't get me wrong. I'll take it as soon as I can get it, but I think I'm at the bottom of the list. I don't think I'm gonna get it to like June or something like that.
I mean, I looked up and got it. And I know, don't forget I was a frontline worker. So, they can call me up anytime, but more importantly, go get the vaccination, but just understand that, there's some, and then you got to get 2. So I got to go back 3 weeks from now and get the second dose. And then it goes from like right now, I'm 25% less likely to get COVID-19. But once you get the second dose, you go up to like a 95 to 99% less likely to get, just like people who take the flu vaccination sometimes can still get the flu. So it's not, there's not 100%. Perfect. Yeah, there's no perfect immunization. And then, there's evidence that shows that COVID hides in your brain and might pop up years later or months later, right? So but if you're immunized from it, it will stop it when it comes down. So you just gotta, you gotta take care of yourself, folks.
Gotta do your part. Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up.
And y'all, one reason that I'm scared to take the vaccine, only because the quickness or how fast they got everything into production. The reason why it scares me so much is because I've had 2 hip replacements, right? And the first one they recalled. Once you have a product that's recalled, it's because they don't go through the full testing of the product. It goes to the FDA and they say this product is just like this one on the market, so it shouldn't have any additional side effects, pain, whatever it is. It shouldn't have that. Excuse me. The FDA will go ahead and approve it, and it's fine. But what happens is anything that happens, it doesn't show up until 2 years, 3 years later. Hence, I got this
your hip replacement,
wicked scar on my leg. Yes. And in this thing 2 times, man, 2 hip replacements. So, but I will do my part and get that vaccine because I'm sick of this crap. But
it's time to get out of this.
Everybody tired of being in the house.
Biggest fears. Right.
I ain't even gonna lie. It's time to hit the streets again. I've been low key locked down since February of last year. So I'm with that. But
speaking on COVID, right?
Yeah, go ahead, Rebecca. Speaking
on COVID, we have some updates for you with some COVID reports. This is the latest coming from the COVID tracking project. It states the states reported 1.7 million tests. There's 143,000 cases, 1,940 deaths, 110,000 6,628 people are currently hospitalized in the U.S., the fewest since December 14th. For the first time since November 3rd, no state has over 600 people per million hospitalized with COVID-19. Cases are now declining across all regions of the country. In less than a month, Los Angeles County has recorded more than 5,000 COVID-19 related deaths, a pace that highlights the rampant and ruthless spread of the virus throughout the county. So I know that I mentioned that right now the cases are now declining, but look what's happening in Los Angeles. They're at the highest right now, and pretty much Los Angeles is pretty much shut down.
Yeah. No, we were talking about that this morning in the production meeting, how they're almost at capacity, or if they're not at capacity in Los Angeles County, but then also across the country. I mean, it's ebbing and it's flowing depending on the state and the city that you're in. But at the end of the day, these moves that Joe Biden is trying to make with the mask mandate and with enhanced social distancing and the vaccine, I mean, we can see the end of this, but people got to do their part, right? I mean, we still are going to have to wear a mask. We're still going to have to socially distance for some time. And then a lot of people are going to have to trust this vaccine enough to get it, as many people as possible, for us to actually see our way out of this pandemic that we've been in for almost a full year now. A full year. What do y'all think? I guess the real question is, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I want to clarify something. First, the vaccine itself, the vaccination does not carry COVID-19 in it, right? So, but the things that create your antibodies that they design for the human body does create some of the same symptoms for some people once you take the vaccination. That's a very important thing. So you cannot get COVID-19 from any of the vaccinations, and that's Pfizer or Moderna vaccination. So don't let nobody tell you anything different. And y'all can fact check that all you want to. Politically, I don't care. Yeah. That's a fact, right? So we need to get that real clear. Secondly, we need to stop playing games like this is still the Trump administration across the board, right? There's going to be a lot less fake news for the next couple of months about COVID-19 because companies, rich people, poor people are actually tired of COVID-19. Like when rich white people are tired of something, things actually change, right? And rich white people are a little bit tired of COVID. It's messing with their bottom line. It's messing with their pockets. They used to be able to get away with having some false sense of safety arguments because Trump was in the house. But now that they know they can't just run to, okay, we can't mask up. Even some of the most conservative companies are now like, all right, let's keep these masks on. Right. And and just like on the airlines, right? If you can't wear a mask, you have to wear a face guard or something, right? Just to keep your mess to yourself. So it's time for folks to stop playing games when it comes down to these masks, right? If somebody's in a store, I don't care if it's a corner store and they ain't got a mask on, they're just disrespectful, man. And you should shun them. And you should act like if you're in a store with somebody in a mask, be without a mask, exaggerate your feelings about that person. Oh God. Like act like a white girl who is
a black person with their purse
on an elevator.
Like just exaggerate every single movement that you make when you see this person. God, I can't even go into the store until this guy gets out, right? Like literally act like that because they need to be shunned. They need to be shamed.
I agree.
Herd immunity won't happen unless there's some bad actors that are corrected. Because what they're hoping for is that at this point, they're hoping that everybody else gets the vaccination and then we won't spread it around anymore. But there'll be people who will be keeping this around for a long time. And we don't know how long that the vaccinations term is, right? It might be a couple of months. It might be might be a year. It might be 3 years, but we're not certain how long a vaccination is going to last at this point because it's so new. So we just need to create a good environment. That's it.
Yeah. No, and it literally is everybody having to do their part, right? That's literally what the story is. There's no way we're going to all be able to get to the classic to watch us beat up on FAMU in November unless everybody takes their vaccine, everybody wears a mask, everybody socially distanced, and actually just do your part. So that's all.
You know what's interesting? Hosea Sanchez, I don't know if you guys seen this. He put up a thread on Twitter and he called out, I feel like he directed it to Atlanta, to be honest. And he talked about how the Black community, the Black clubs, the hookah bars and all those places are basically super spreaders. Okay, so we have artists coming to the clubs and got everybody coming out there at these hookah bars and these spaces, and they are all basically super spreaders. They're not really mandating people to have on masks. And I'm not talking about these small locations where people are going and they are enforcing people to wear masks or to make sure they're social distancing in their facilities. I'm talking about these whole clubs where these artists are going to, and he really was calling it out. He was like, we need to stop as Black folks. We need to really look at the margin here. Also, we need to understand that when these artists go back to their big homes and everything like that, they got health insurance. You don't. So I thought that was interesting. And I felt like
to mention who they taking it home to, like they're bringing it to the city and taking it out of the city. Like they wild.
I felt like he was saying just Atlanta. This is for you.
Well, you can see T.I.
by name.
Have you seen all the videos of T.I. out there with his events and his parties and stuff? I mean, not to isolate him. I know it's not him by himself, but Atlanta ain't never shut down. I'm gonna be honest with you. Atlanta been popping through the entire pandemic. So
they said that Atlanta. That's when they said Atlanta ain't got it. Like people are immune to it in Atlanta.
That's a lie. That's a lie. What you about to say, James?
Lie. I was just about to say, MLK weekend, we're going to start seeing those numbers soon because that's like a pride weekend here in Atlanta. And a lot of the videos I saw, I'm not going to show my brothers and sisters, but y'all got to do better than that, man. Y'all out here like ain't nothing going on. And I don't understand how people do it. I took my vow and I said, I'm not DJing anywhere this weekend. I'm not going to be part of that. After mom got this thing and seeing that and not being able to see her, physically touch her for 4 days.
For months.
No, bro.
Oh, wow.
I'm good.
Wow.
I'm good.
Wow.
I can't do that. And I just hope that my brothers and sisters see that. Like, no, stay y'all ass home.
That's it. Put a mask on and stay your ass home. I think that's the headline for this for this segment is stay your ass home and put a mask on so we could all get back to the classic in November. All right, that's it. There's still a whole lot of news that we're covering. Rebecca, you're watching the story out of Tacoma. I'm watching the story, and I think, Marcus, you mentioned the impeachment. We're also watching the same story that Mondale, you mentioned about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Let's start real quick with the story out of Tacoma because the footage that came out of there is wild. And Rebecca, you got the information. What you got?
Yeah, so in Tacoma, there was drag racing where they were racing as they usually do. There was a crowd of about 100 people there to watch what was going on. Police did pull up to the scene, and they said that a lot of the people who were part of the audience of the race pulled up to the car, were banging on the window, allegedly. And so he wanted to get out of there fearing his life. So he revved up his car, backed up, saw that he wasn't able to get out. And because he feared his life, he drove through the crowd. And when he drove through the crowd, he pushed a lot of people out the way with the vehicle, running over one person who did end up going to the hospital and endured minor injuries. Thank God he isn't dead, and viewer discretion is advised as we watch this video. Thank God he isn't dead. And after this incident happened, many people went back to the same scene yesterday. Wow. Do you see that? Do you guys see that?
Jesus Christ.
There's two different angles from that video. But after this incident happened, the people that were there as the audience pulled back up to the scene, now protesting what happened. And here is where we can look. I can definitely say when I see this, I do look at that. Look how fast.
Jesus Christ. And he's running over the man's body.
My God. Just watching that just now really just made me cringe. He got away with it right now. Right now, they are looking into it. It's an investigation going on. As of now, the police is still on the force, but there is an investigation going on.
Because he feared for his life, right? Because he feared for his life, so he ran over these people and then just kept going. Look at that, just kept Literally kept going. This reminds me of what we saw this summer at the George Floyd protests, because the police in New York did the same exact thing. And this is what these white supremacists are doing across the country. They're running people over. We saw it in Charlottesville. We saw it. I don't know if it was Kenosha, but it was recently. We saw it where they were using vehicles as an attack method. And now the police are doing the same exact thing. It's the exact same thing we saw during the George Floyd protest. And all this officer has to do to get away with it is say he feared for his life.
That's it. That's definitely it. And the specific incident that you're talking about was in New York by the New York officers who literally plowed through people. And that wasn't the only incident. We saw that all across the nation with the protests. These police officers were using their vehicles because they feared their life to run over the protesters. And at this point, it was just drag racing. This is something that they do in the area. And because the crowd was there, a police officer pulls up, and instead of calling for backup to the scene or anything like that, or just sitting in his vehicle, he says that he feared for his life and he used his vehicle to clear the way.
So the official statement from Tacoma Police Department: on the evening of January 23rd, we received numerous reports of multiple vehicles, approximately 100 people blocking the intersection of South 9th and Pacific Avenue. Our officers responded to begin clearing the intersection. During the operations, one of our vehicles was surrounded by the crowd. Christ. People hit the body of the police vehicle and his windows as the officer was stopped in the street. The officer, fearing for his safety, tried to back up, but was unable to do so because of the crowd. That's not true. Look at the video again. The officer had his lights and sirens activated while trying to exasperate himself from an unsafe position. The officer drove forward, striking one individual. And
let's drop the video.
The officer stopped at a point of safety and then called for medical aid. One person was transported to the area hospital. We have turned over the investigation to the Pierce County Force Investigation Team to conduct an independent investigation, and information about this incident will be available in the future. That's on their Facebook page. And then they have an update. 9 hours ago, the Community Police Advisory Board will convene for a special online meeting Monday, January 25th at 6 p.m. to discuss the use of force incident that occurred at 9th and Pacific on January 23rd, 2021. Join the Zoom meeting. This is on their Facebook page. So if you want to join that Zoom meeting, go to their Facebook page. They got the link right there. They got the passcode 27618, and you may join the meeting. Yeah,
we don't need to join. Listen, let me tell you what's going to happen. This officer will not be put on paid suspension. This officer will be fired because he ran over white people. There will be swift justice. It will happen. There will be no long investigation. The police union ain't going to say nothing. These are white people that he ran over. So, you can run over black people and, get that paid vacation that cops get when they kill black people. But the fact that you took that car and white people got to see white people get hit by police cars, then you're forgetting that, hey, you're supposed to protect and serve the white folk. And that officer will be fired. I promise you.
Your lips to God ears, man. That's what I'm. But the underlying testimony of what you're saying, of course, this cop should be fired. It's a shame that the only reason he's going to be fired is because he ran over white people. That's the shame.
Absolutely.
That's the shame. Yeah.
Because you see how quick this moved directly into, we got a special town hall meeting tonight. Damn, that was quick.
They got a town hall quicker than the mug. I am going to join that Zoom town hall. Just I'm gonna be lurking in the background, waiting for the chance to say something. So I'm gonna grab that statement that you read, Marcus, and we're gonna share it because anybody who want to show up. But I think if we show up, we might find out how swift justice is for white people in this country as compared to black people. That's what we're gonna find out.
You had brought up a good point when we were going over the stories earlier this morning. You were you actually compared it to when George Floyd, when that police officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck, and he was screaming out, just like, kill me, basically. So in those moments, it's like these police officers, and remember the cop was saying, you were saying for them to run him over. The other officer was saying to run him over. Because now this right here just shows us that this is normal. These officers stay using their cars as weapons or anything around them as weapons. And on air, or he told the other officer, don't say that on.
Don't say that I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these officers literally, this is something that they do. And then they go and say, yes, this is one of those things that they put on people. And then they'll say, this is what they'll say. I feared for my life.
Right.
I feared for my life. You are in a police vehicle. You're trained for this kind of stuff.
You got guns.
And you literally will try and kill someone.
Because you fear for your life in a car. That's like me saying, I fear for my life. Like, that's like a dinosaur saying it fear for its life around me when it can just step on me. Like, this dude has the ability with that ton vehicle to just crush somebody's life. But we let these cops get away with saying they fear for their life. So they pull their gun, they shoot us, right? That's what they've been trained to say all of this time. And I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me about that. Because if you listen to some of the audio that came out of New York during the George Floyd protests, there was a specific exchange between an officer and the dispatcher where the officer was like, let me run over them. And the dispatcher said, no, don't say that over the air. So this is not an outlier. This is a behavior pattern that we're seeing spread amongst the police across this country. And Mundell, you still spot on, man. Chances are this one will get resolved before all the other ones get resolved, because this time they ran over white people. So, all right, that's it. Let's take a quick 3-minute break with some music. I'm gonna re-up my tea. Y'all re-up your coffee. When we come back, we got the Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Thinks she wants to run for governor. We got the impeachment process for Donald Trump, and we got some more Joe Biden's appointments, as well as some information on Keisha Lance Bottoms here in Atlanta. A lot more coming back. We'll be right back with the Morning Trap.
Underground tip on the killing it tip, nigga. On the forever, hey, unstable, drop that shit. Bitch, ready to do it big. Coming with the shit that'll flip your wig, my nigga. They don't understand, man. That's crazy shit. Get whipping up a cut like this, bitch. Nigga, pick the name. I never did it for fame. I always did it for the hustle and the struggle, man. Dang, what you mean by struggle? Stand out of the streets, so what you mean by hustle? These beats, you reach the stoner when you're biting the flow. Got heat for the folks when I hype for the show. Take a seat, Negro, get hit with a body blow. Everybody in the party say, oh. Do a willy on the track, do a double back, cut no slack, and take a sip of the yak. Been doing this since way back, ain't that from the album before. Just think I need the award. Then we get a go. Fuck what the sounds can say. Yeah, y'all niggas know the money don't make the man. Long as you're shaking hands, and understand the surprise.
Shout out to everybody that's joining us this morning. Hope you are enjoying the show so far. Make sure that you keep it locked in here. Make sure that you hit the like button, share, and subscribe so you always know when the Morning Trap is going down and going live, y'all. DJ exclusive.
This is what we don't get out. Put your hands up on this hit now. Tell them niggas shut your mouth. Feelings up in your spot with the tongue cock, over drums. Gon' rock and it don't stop till your post stop. Shoot your show shot, so don't run. We got long range.
Shout out to my man Red Lord for sending me some music over the weekend. Got some bangers that we'll be playing with y'all on the show going forward.
You thought you get away trying to play me for.
And make sure that if you want to tip your DJ, you can. DJ X3C on Venmo and Cash App. DJ X3C on Venmo and Cash App, and DJ Exclusive on PayPal.
What's the outcome if we bump heads? I bust heads, only one head survive, and that's mine when we collide. Smoke MCs like it was legalized. Eagle eye, lethal in the first flight, here the first time.
What is poor? I feel like broke as fuck, having a great time. Can I just be rich, like, mentally? What's the worst when you got a bad habit? You know it ain't good for you, but you still gotta have it. What's rich? Rich is placing value in your kids. Trying to get that fast money ain't the only way to live. It's when your car won't start and you can't afford to fix it even though you work hard. Pain is when you put something away and you're in between jobs but going shopping anyway. It's a mind state, that's why you're always irate, cause you want your people smoking like the Empire State. Why me, young girl? Ain't no time like the present. If you're all about refreshment, then it turns to depression. Regressing, trying to get that monkey off your back. Ain't nothing impressive about a woman on the tracks. Where is the irony now? How could I worship the P? Cause pimping and pussy is the same thing to me. I was raised by my parents and not by the streets. That's something everybody about. Get like me, I wouldn't trade my soul for nothing on the planet. I don't own a vehicle, but I'm one hell of a mechanic. And damn it, I feel like folks need to stop strutting like a rooster when it don't mean nothing. Success defined by a vision in your head. I'd rather be given wisdom than simply a loaf of bread. What's when you got a bad habit? You know it ain't good for you. your kids trying to get that fast money ain't the only way to live. It's when your car won't start and you can't afford to fix it even though you work hard. Pain is when you put something away and you're in between.
Thank you so much, you Getter 9. I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the family out there, man. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you.
What's hot? You got 100 G's in your stack. What's not? You got it good in the community.
And shout out to the Letter Hack on Twitter and on Instagram for providing such a dope comic book cover, man. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate that so much. That's going on the wall back here.
What's fuck is when that means murdering you. What's cool? They want you to work for their brand new business. What's through is for inmates inside of the prisons. What's great? The way you came up in the game. What's hate? It's blocking us from doing the same. What's rich is controlling your resources. What's a bitch is having them taken and exploited.
What's poor is when you got a bad habit. You know it ain't good for you, but you still gotta have it. What's rich? Rich is placing value in your kids trying to get that fast money ain't the only way to live. It's when your car won't start and you can't afford to fix it even though you work hard. Pain is when you put something away and you're in between jobs but going shopping anyway.
You know the paper that's escalate, then again, how you gotta hit between the cages. Yeah, don't cry cause it's over. Smile cause it happened. Yeah, don't cry cause it's over. Smile cause it happened. When I was young, I hit the road like a prodigal son. Rode to the chronicles done, then dove into the next one. The odyssey's fun, but challenging, like balancing on tight ropes and cyclones or straddling the underground and high road. Pyrotechnics exploded, hieroglyphics decoded. Try to be a poet, then psycho, but didn't know it. Now I feel like Johnny Cash, a real insomniac. At night, my mind's spinning like wheels on Pontiacs. But when I finally crash, I got dreams like Otis Redding. No forgetting, dreams to remember. And so I'm betting that my flow is headed in my soul's direction. No compass, following the funk like drum kits and trumpets. And once it's over, I'll ride into the sunset. But I'm never done yet. Watch me ride with the undead.
Rebecca, what is that in your hand?
What's what in my hand?
What's that? Was it a pen? Oh, that's your. Oh, those. Oh, I thought you were holding a pen, girl. Those.
No,
your nails look fly. Your nails are fly. I thought you were holding a pen. Those are your nails. My bad.
These are my claws.
Those are your Catwoman claws.
That's my claws.
Hey, again, shout out to. I actually just want to bring it back up on the screen. The image that was done for the Trap Squad by Letterhack. Who cast Rebecca? Well, Rebecca, you cast yourself as Catwoman, so I think your claws.
Yeah, and everybody was like, she should have been Storm. She should have been. No, I picked Catwoman for a reason. I think I definitely give off Catwoman energy. I like that. So I think it was like that surprised me when Marcus dropped that in our chat. When I seen that, I thought that was just like, dang, that is just like, we got some.
That's pretty fire.
We got some people who really love us to go out there and really create that within hours of us even talking about that. I think.
Hey, bring it back up real quick, because here's the thing. I want to go nerd for a second, because we got to give a shout out. First, Letterhack came through with it. You see those black spots right there? Those are called Kirby Crackles. That's from Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby was the co-founder of Marvel, right? And created some of the best characters that we've all seen, alongside, of course, we all know Stan Lee. This is a crossover event, obviously, because we have a whole bunch of Marvel characters and one DC character, right? Because Catwoman is a DC character. Shout out to all the original, like, if you look at this right here, even though he took blends of different characters, each one of these poses are from like the major first episodes of some of these magazines. So for instance, Power Man, that's Mondale, right? Mondale's Power Man. That's from one of the first episodes of from that comic book, right? The Black Panther episode and Wolverine, he kind of makes both of them were from, and then that, like, the Captain America was one also. So I want to give a shout out to Stan Lee. I want to give a shout out to Jack Kirby, and I definitely want to give a shout out to Letterhack for coming through and doing some, like, on the spot, on the fly, amazing work. for us, and I already got it on the sweater. So,
why does that look like exactly like Mundell? Like
it's like him right now, though. It looks like him right now.
I mean, I look like some kind of alien, but that's okay. I could dig it. The Bruce Banner Hulk thing, I get it. But
it looks. Everybody looks like them.
What is that shirt? What is that shirt from Cosby Show? The one that the yellow shirt, the gold shirt that Theo had Denise make. Y'all remember? Anybody old enough to remember that episode? Because that's what that shirt, the Power Man shirt, kind of remind me of. Remind me of the shirt Denise had just messed up for Theo. But I guess I'm showing my age.
That's Harriet Tubman, bro. Because that's Harriet Tubman. Because I don't know nothing about comic books. And I said,
no, I was going to say, it's true. Me and Mondell are the people here that are like, yep, whatever they talk about, crackles and dackles. That's great. That's great. But it was funny because I was looking at it and everybody's like, why is Rebecca's character outside of, I think you said the Marvel universe?
Yeah, Marvel universe.
Why is she outside? And I was like, but that depicts exactly how we are on the show, right? I'm the only woman on the show, but we all together can still work together and be a force to be reckoned with. So I definitely, I thought that was a great representation.
It's a hell of a mashup.
Rebecca, I respect you, but that don't make no sense. There's women in the Marvel.
It makes sense to me because I don't know nothing about. I don't know nothing.
Hell of a lot, Marcus. Right?
She just making up. She just making up stuff to say. Now, come on,
about Marcus.
I wasn't going to say it, but
they're like stories.
Marcus, you know how many
black women are in the Marvel universe? What are you talking about, dog?
What is matter of fact?
So many.
What is Luke Cage's?
Luke Cage has he asked us who we would. He didn't say from that particular universe, and I just chose me a character. Okay,
no, Catwoman is dope. Catwoman is dope. I would have also but it's your pick, right? It's who you pick. So whoever you say,
Marcus knows he can let me slide. He just he knows all about that.
This radical truth on the show.
You comic book nerds, y'all be like, you don't know. You just don't know.
Okay, all right, check this out. What if I get sister braids mixed up with French braids? What you gonna do? You gonna be Marcus, this, that, and the other.
This is a fact.
So you know what? So you know what? If you go, I mean, now seriously,
I particularly would not do that, but yeah, I get where you're coming from. But you could have let me slide and then got me together.
I would have called Marcus. If you get your braids mixed up, I'm gonna call you out.
Right. I mean, but what I'm saying is you get called out for. Okay. Hey, hold on. Bubba, you Captain America, right? So check this out.
Right.
Am I wrong here? Am I wrong with what I just said?
You're not.
Being the only
not at all, dude.
And I ain't trying to trash Rebecca. I ain't trying to trash.
Hey, no, look. So nobody gonna have my back like that.
I'm just saying. That ain't make no damn sense.
Because what you said didn't make no sense. I would be honest with you.
You know what's crazy, Monday? I was trying to let them know that me and you, we was together. We didn't know about what was happening, and you just gonna let them just come at me like that.
You talking about Mondell? Because me and Marcus and Bubba, we on the same side on this one.
Mondell and me were the ones who didn't really know. So I was just trying to say.
I feel you.
Speaking of feeling you, I feel the story that Mondell you mentioned earlier. Let's talk about Sarah Huckabee Sanders because she's a former press secretary for Donald Trump, and she imagines that she's going to be able to run for the governor seat in Arkansas. Now, keep in mind, previous governor was her father, Mike Huckabee. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, one of the previous governors. Obviously, you also throw in our boy, your boy, Bill Clinton, as a former governor of Arkansas. But in this case, Sarah Huckabee Sanders has a huge problem ahead of her because she is known to be a liar. Take a listen to this clip of an exchange between Huckabee Sanders and a White House correspondent from Fox News as they discuss one of the biggest lies that's going to hunt her campaign for governor.
Sarah, you said from the podium yesterday that Director Comey had lost the confidence of the rank and file of the FBI. On Capitol Hill today, the acting director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, directly contradicted that. What led you in the White House to believe that he had lost the confidence in the rank and file of the FBI when the acting director says it's exactly the opposite?
Well, I can speak to my own personal experience. I've heard from countless members of the FBI that are grateful and thankful for the president's decision. And I think that, we may have to agree to disagree. I'm sure that there are some people that are disappointed, but I've certainly heard from a large number of individuals, and that's just myself. And I don't even know that many people in the FBI.
Just to follow up on the FBI thing,
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be overly combative here, but you said now today, and I think you said again yesterday, that you personally have talked to countless FBI officials, employees, since this happened.
Correct.
I mean, really? Like,
I mean,
really? I mean, so are we talking
between like email, text messages? Absolutely,
50,
yes.
60, 70?
I mean, look, we're not going to get into a numbers game. I mean, I have heard from a large number of individuals that work at the FBI that said that they're very happy with the president's decision. I mean, I don't know what else I can.
Now, let's be sure.
Listen, I can watch that all day. Like literally, for me, that is chicken noodle soup on a cold winter day. That is so beautiful to my soul. Bro, this is white supremacy, and I'm so glad the correspondent, John Roberts did what he was supposed to do and asked the question. But the guy from the New York Times, he was like, "Really? Like, I mean, like, this is how absurd this is. Like, you know you're lying. Nobody from the FBI is calling you. They know you're lying." And he's like, "Really? Like, you really gonna stand up here and do this? Like that's how stupid this is." Like,
she tried it
on every level.
And then, but look, the height of whiteness, though. But watch the height of whiteness come out of her. She's like, I mean, I'm not gonna get into the numbers game. Well, how are you gonna say a ton? How are you gonna say a ton?
Right. You said you fixed your mouth to say that. Now you can't keep up with what you said.
Right.
She's gonna win. She's gonna win.
You think she's gonna win?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
You don't think she's gonna win?
I mean, here's
absolutely
why. Well, here's why I say that, man. Like, I don't want her to win, and I think anybody who's competent, who can run a competent campaign in a Republican primary against her, should be able, right? Like, let me just say that, right? But that woman is tailor-made to BS America and to BS citizens. She is the commander in chief at BS, and there won't be any you can't have a competent conversation with her about facts unless you have a certain type of debate moderator, unless you have a certain type of, right? Like, because I mean, no matter what happens, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, were you a part of a white supremacist leading organization, and did you support white supremacist policies? And if she gets asked that question, she's going to be like, no, and spin it. And then unless you have the right kind of moderator or the right kind of money that can push back against narratives that she creates, she's going to be dangerous, man. Like, I can watch it all day, but the problem is we just saw 71 million people, 81
vote for Donald Trump. Yeah.
Vote for Donald Trump.
Yep. Right. But we saw 84 million vote against Donald Trump. We got to remember that. And then let me tell you, here's the thing. That's Arkansas. Some of them was, so the 71 million weren't Arkansas either.
Nah, I'm just saying that he went Arkansas.
So, he won Arkansas.
I'm sure he did. But let's see by what margin.
He won Arkansas, but Huckabee is not Donald Trump. And also,
that's true.
And then we should also consider what's going to be happening in 2022. Just like the energy around those gubernatorial elections, all of the gubernatorial elections are going to be up in the South in 2022. It's going to be completely different. It's going to be similar to the energy around this year's election. So if you consider the efforts of organizations and what happened this year, you also have to know that, Stacey Abrams didn't win in 2016, but I guarantee the likelihood of her losing in 2022 is a lot lower than it was in 2016.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the same.
But she comes from, Sarah Huckabee comes from a background, I believe, with her father being the governor in Arkansas.
Yeah, but he's not a popular character in Arkansas. I went to law school in Arkansas. There's a serious movement of folk. I literally just got a person elected to judge in Arkansas who was not even old enough to be judge until election day, right before election day, she was old enough. You have to be a certain age and a certain amount of years as a lawyer. I mean, like, we going against the establishment. This sister is now a judge in Arkansas. This sister is 28 years old, I think. So I think she's one of the youngest judges, maybe 30. She's like one of the youngest judges in not only in Arkansas but in the country. And we did that going against the establishment. And I'm just telling you, there's a different, like, what we think of Arkansas is not Sarah
Well, hell,
Huckabee.
what we thought about Georgia. Well, because some people would have made the same mistake about Georgia. Don't get me wrong, the work that was done in Georgia is totally different than the work that was done in Arkansas. But at the same time,
right.
I mean, the work speaks for itself. Like these states can be changed, right? But I want to play one more clip with Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Marcus. I want to nominate this woman from Australia to moderate whatever debate, or we can get a black sister like Yamiche to moderate it. But somebody's got to be able to hold somebody has to be able to hold these people accountable. Take a look at this clip where Sarah Huckabee Sanders was held accountable probably for the first time in her damn life. Take a look.
And that is a factor in the severity of the fires, along with land management. The president replied, "It'll start getting cooler." The secretary replied, "I wish science agreed with you." The president then replied, "I don't think science knows, actually." Was that a display of lying, ignorance, or insanity?
Following that, I'm not in the administration, so I can't speak to what next steps they will take.
You're not addressing my point, which is that he said that he thinks science doesn't know that the planet is warming. The Washington Post fact-check unit has found that during his presidency so far, Donald Trump has made false or misleading claims to the American people more than 20,000 times.
Well, like I said, I don't think the media has a lot of credibility when it comes to calling out.
So to believe you, somebody watching this interview has to believe that every former senior member of the Trump administration who's left and spoken of his unfitness to lead has an axe to grind, that every former senior Republican who's spoken out, from Colin Powell to the late John McCain, has an axe to grind, and then all of these lifelong Republicans are in cahoots with the Democrats, and they're all also tied up in a conspiracy with the mainstream media, and it's the mainstream media that's peddling lie after lie, not Donald Trump. That's what you're asking people to believe.
Well, I'm asking people to believe the hundreds of other Republican leaders across this country who know and defend this president and talk about all of the good things that he has done for this country, myself included. I worked alongside the president for 2.5 years. I don't have to listen to the opinion of somebody like Colin Powell, who hasn't spent time with the president, who frankly doesn't have that great of a record in his own experience and the things that they did during the Bush administration.
Your book makes it clear that you're heavily guided by your Christian faith and family values. How do you reconcile that with having been the spokesperson for a president who has misled the American people on everything from coronavirus to climate change, who boasts about grabbing women on the pussy, who paid hush money to a porn star to keep her quiet about their alleged relationship, and who's maligned the men and women of America's armed forces?
Marcus,
what just happened? Some of those things are just patently false, but I can tell you from my experience when
I want it. Hey, yo, listen. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a cast iron pan, and that white woman was a dishwasher. And she just got and that English lady just turned her dishwasher on high. and we watched slowly as that lady got crusty and rusty as hell.
What? Oh my God.
Listen, Marcus.
Listen, that was beautiful, right? That was.
She read her for filth, and I lived for that.
She said, man, listen. Hallelujah to Australian reporters. She was all. She said when she said all, it said, so you want us to believe in order to believe you, we got to think everybody's lying. That's what you want me to do. Yo, yeah. I just love. This is the importance of free media right here. I mean, yes, sir. That was beautiful. That's free press good. Right there. Here's what I will say. Sarah Huckabee was not baking on that interview when she took that. It's so funny how white people... She didn't get the interview question. Hey, Mandela, you got to say, she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. You got to...
So that interview, Mondale, that interview immediately made me agree with you. She's gonna lose.
Before you knew what you was gonna say.
Like, hey, that interview made me just immediately switch up my whole thing. She's gonna lose. She's gonna lose. She's about to lose.
Now, is it okay for me? Like, I might be out of pocket here. Y'all tell me if I am. But why does? I mean, she could wear her eyebrows however she wants to wear them.
Let me say.
But why she remind me of Bert? Why she remind me of Bert and Ernie with them eyebrows, bro? I'm just she look like.
It's not even the brows for me. It's all the lying and all that she did, how she just really sat up there and lied for this president all of this time.
Yeah. And think she can.
It's reading through her skin. When you have a nasty soul, when you are just, it literally eats you from the inside out. And look at her. This is a 38-year-old woman. She's 38
60.
years old. And it looks like
she's 38.
She's 38 years old. 38.
She's younger than all of us.
And when she started with Trump, a few years ago, she was what, 30, 30,
12.
Yeah, she was younger, and we didn't get that vibe from her. She was just miserable. I can't say she was miserable because she literally would get up there every day.
She thrived in that lying position. She loved those lies.
She was there every day lying, and people would call her out so much so that she would definitely be in the front line of campaigning the fake news because when they would call her out for every lie, they had receipts. Just as this Australian woman took it way back. She took it way back from the beginning to her
grabbing them by the
it was good. I lived for it, and but now I do agree with Mondale as well, Marcus. But
here's the big question. Here's the big question: how much will the Trump administration officials be rehabilitated? Because we saw with honestly, she threw some low-key shade against Colin Powell, but she wasn't wrong. Now, she's not in a position to actually speak out about people doing things wrong. But we have rehabilitated, now let me take the we out because none of us did it, but there have been a lot of Democrats who rehabilitated George Bush, right? And the Bush administration, and let's be real, now Donald Trump has killed almost 400,000 Americans due to COVID-19, but George W. Bush bombed 1 million Iraqis, right? And destabilized the region. So my question for the panel is, how many Donald Trump officials do you think we're going to rehabilitate? Even if we don't rehabilitate Donald Trump himself, I think our system gives a lot of forgiveness to people who participate in white supremacy.
As we're going to see them doing right now. A lot of people like Mitch McConnell is back to denouncing Trump. All these other people are back to denouncing Donald Trump, and as if they never were a part of his administration. And a lot of the things that they did wrong with the administration, the white supremacy that was led to the forefront,
to the steps.
This is terrible because what's going to happen is a lot of these Democrats are going to go hand in hand. Like the message that's being pushed for us to, work together in unity. But I feel like we got to definitely hold them accountable and still look at these people side-eyed for what they've done and their place in a lot of this mess. Sarah Huckabee, we will always remember you for being the liar. Literally the liar. Everything that came out, who is going to believe anything you say? No one. This is how we're going to remember you.
What was the guy's name? The first, was it Sean Spicer or was it Sean Spicer was the first press secretary?
We forgot about him. That man was a wreck.
They rehabilitated him. He went on Dancing with the Stars.
Didn't he write a book?
He got some type of position at Harvard, like a guest lecturer. Yes. So they rolled out the red carpet for him. So I mean, honestly, while Sarah Huckabee Sanders should get dragged, the fact is, Mondale, and I want your thoughts on it. The fact is we have a habit of rehabilitating white supremacists, and it's possible. I think she'll lose, but I do think it's possible that the system would try to rehabilitate her if we let them. What do you think?
I think the system, I mean, presidents usually get a pass, and the rehabilitation is easier for presidents than it is for their administration. I don't really think Spicer has been
fully rehabilitated. Okay.
I mean, because if you think about what happens to press secretaries after their time in the office, they usually become super rich or some kind of consultants for comms, and that's not what he is. I mean, they try to give him a show on HGTV or something like that, and it didn't work out. I mean, the idea that these people have been rehabilitated, I think fair. that's that. And I also want to say that people that love history, I mean, I never. People can say what they want to about Trump worse than Bush or Bush. We wish we had Bush back. I don't literally.
Not at all.
The Middle East is destable because of the Bush administration, and we can't. I mean, and Barack Obama's legacy over there is horrible too. So I mean, I think there will be people that forget who he was, but there are those of us that knows. And I think academia is not a place to tell if someone is, redeemed or not. Academia is a place for open conversation, even with those that you disagree with. So I think Harvard give him a position there is.
I can rock with that. I got a question. Mandela, I got a question for you. How come these guys land these consulting positions and are not effective? Right? How come they keep landing these consulting positions and they're not effective and they don't win races and they don't or they don't do good for the country? How come they keep getting rehired? Maybe we can go into that for a second, because I think this is an important addition to why Sarah Huckabee Sanders is still even relevant.
I mean, nepotism is it. I think this is all about what her daddy did, what role her daddy played, and now her legacy too. Like if you think about who her dad was in for the Republican Party and some of the extremists, he was a leading conspiracy theories that ran for president before Donald Trump, right? This is who he was as a candidate. That's right. I mean, don't forget how outlandish and some of the stuff he said about Black Lives Matter, about activists, about people that were not Christian, white Christian folk, right? So, and I mean, like her dad had a wonderful relationship with Pat Robertson, who is a Christian terrorist, right? So white Christian terrorist. So, and we just got to say that.
Agreed.
And I think Marcus, the reason these people keep getting higher, and these people, I'm talking about these losing consultants or these press secretaries becoming consultants, is because people tell lies about what works in campaigns. White people want to believe that, white people still want to believe that the messaging on TV is the most important part of a campaign. And who knows better how to sell something on TV than a lying press secretary? So the problem is though, they're ineffective, and this cycle showed how ineffective they are. I mean, if you look at the campaigns that were won on bootstrap campaigns that won elections without massive TV budgets, it's just raining on the idea of what an election means. I mean, in South Carolina, we raised over $100 million for the candidate we support. Unfortunately, majority of his budget, I'm talking about Jamie Harrison, a candidate that I love. Unfortunately, majority of his budget got spent with white consultants on TV. Media consultants. You can't win an election that way, not regardless how much money you got. So I'm just saying, I think these consultants are continuing to be hired because of nepotism and the lack of understanding of how to move voters, even though every report tells us after every election cycle.
That's good. That's good. And if anybody, just for a shameless plug here, if anybody knows how to move voters and can contribute to this conversation, it'd be the two of you, Marcus, with your work, and Mundell with your work. Like, moving voters is a thing. Here's one thing I want to highlight this conversation with, since we're talking about rehabilitation. It's like it looks like the Democrats might actually go forward with the impeachment process of Donald Trump. It is constitutionally possible to impeach a former president. The Democrats are going to need 17 Republicans in the Senate to convict Donald Trump of the articles of impeachment. That trial is expected to begin in 2 weeks, giving Joe Biden time to seat the rest of his administration. That said, my question for the panel is, do we believe that the Republicans are going to give up 17 votes in the Senate to find Donald Trump guilty of the articles of impeachment, if for no other reason to prevent him from leading the party between now and 2024? Let's start with Marcus, and we'll go around the room.
If the Senate doesn't get rid of the filibuster, then they don't care about black voters.
Facts.
If Donald Trump is not impeached, the Democrats don't care about black voters. I'm just going to skip a step, because we tend to get into semantics a whole lot more than we need to. It's not even about the capability. It's about using power and wielding power, and how Democrats decide that they want to wield power. We can do whatever we want to right now. The problem is that we are literally afraid of losing seats because Democrats have fundamentally never done anything for the general public besides pass Obamacare, which a lot of us still can't even use. We got to realize something. My party has to realize that when you actually do things for people, they will vote for you over and over and over again. But they're afraid to actually do something for people, right? And what does that mean? They're questioning themselves whether having leadership They're questioning their own leadership right now. They're questioning whether having leadership will get them victories because they are addicted to moderate white voters, right? Moderate white voters don't want what the black people who put them in office want. It's just a very big difference, and they understand that. But the addiction to moderate white voters and the addiction to white television consultants and the addiction is there. So where I'm going with that, to answer your question, is very simple. If they don't, we have the power to do whatever the hell we want to do. But we don't, because we don't know how to wield power. The filibuster should have been ended a long time ago. Trump should have been. This shouldn't even be a conversation about if we impeach Trump. The conversation should have been about when we impeach Trump, right? And us even acting like Mitch McConnell has a valid voice right now. It's just unnecessary. Nobody gave a damn about Chuck Schumer's voice when Mitch McConnell was in the head. It was just like, oh, look at him crying. Right. Facts. So the last thing I want to say is it's interesting how they got rid of the filibuster and they really didn't care about the filibuster when they were giving tax breaks to multi-billionaires. But when it comes down to $2,000 for American people, we got to worry ourselves about what Republicans think.
Right. Facts. Mundell, I want to come to you on that end, right? So there's a balance between what the Democrats can do, what they should have done, what they should be doing, regardless of what the Republicans say. But unless they get rid of the filibuster, or even in this specific case, they're going to need a majority to actually convict them in the Senate. I guess the question still remains, like, do you think Republicans are actually now I can kind of answer my question with what you said previously. You said that Republicans will let it proceed and they are going to capitalize off of it by fundraising on behalf of Republicans who are mad about them impeaching Donald Trump. Break that strategy down that you were talking to us about last week.
Yeah. So, well, first thing, Donald Trump has already been impeached for the second time. So let's just clear the air. He's already been impeached. Now we're talking about conviction. So the idea, the filibuster really doesn't play into the conviction of Donald Trump. I am 100% with Marcus on the filibuster is racist and it's a relic of segregation era folk, and people need to own that and say it and get rid of it. But in this case, our Constitution says you need 2/3 of the Senate to convict the president for. So the filibuster has to go, absolutely. And also, this regardless of the filibuster or not, we would still need Republicans because we don't have 2/3 of Democrats in the Senate. But the strategy is simple. This is a way that Mitch McConnell can have his cake and eat it too. He convinced Schumer to push this back for 2 weeks in what he called his slimy ass a way to, seat Joe Biden's administration and let his first. Right. But what really was going on is this is a way for them to not be in control of the Senate. And the Republicans I'm talking about now, there's a Democratic Senate. Right. And all they're going to do is they're going to run campaign ads. They're going to send out a bunch of emails. A bunch of Republicans are going to send out a bunch of emails to raise a bunch of money against the Democrats who are radical, who are acting like AOC in the House, who are taking, taking arms from Ilhan Omar. And this is where the party is going. The Democratic Party has lost its way. Its far left extremists are running the party. And now what we need to do is raise money so that they can impeach our president.
And so that gets
president
us back.
being Donald Trump.
Right. No, exactly that. They're going to fundraise. Republicans are going to try. And I think that's the strategy. Right. I think you're exactly right. They're going to let Democrats do the dirty work. They'll find 16 Republicans or 17 willing to join on for the supermajority, that 2/3 majority they need in the Senate. Mitch, what's our guy from the one that ran for president with Paul Ryan, the square chin guy? What is his name from Utah? The senator from Utah ran for president with Paul Ryan. His name escapes me. Everybody in the audience is yelling.
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney. Thank God. Mitt Romney Republican has already indicated that he is willing to support the impeachment. So they're just going to have to find 16 more Republicans. When they find 16 more Republicans, they're going to let the Democrats do the dirty work. But Rebecca, I want to turn to you. The strategy is really simple for Republicans then. They know they cannot survive 4 years of Donald Trump constantly positioning himself to run for president in 2024. If they convict him in the Senate, then that gets rid of a major problem for Mitch McConnell and all the other Republicans who never really wanted to support Donald Trump, but they went along with him because they knew he was wild enough to do anything and make all their judicial appointments. That said, how did they get rid of him now when they needed him over the last 4 years? How are they going to save, or do they even care? They just want to get rid of him. They're going to let Democrats do the dirty work and run with it.
They basically are doing what they're doing now. They're detaching. This is how they're going to try to get rid of him for their namesake. They're detaching themselves from Donald Trump. And as they begin to do that, they'll go ahead and make sure that they are leading the charge with Democrats in getting or convicting him in the impeachment if this means that their name is cleared with the recent insurrections, the terrorist attacks, child. But they'll make sure that they are going to be hand in hand, the unification. They're going to show that. That's where we're going to see the representation of the unification that they've been speaking of in these last few weeks to get him out, to convict him, to make sure that there is no chance of him ever getting an opportunity to lead in any political party or anything like that, as far as for Republicans. So my thing still is, like, when we look at this, and watching how Republicans played a role in this whole thing, this whole time. They stood by, they were bystanders. They didn't say much when things were going down. When questioned, they would always have an excuse or just not comment at all. And to me, that spoke louder. But now all of them feel some type of way because the same folks that they helped, excite to go ahead and get these riots popping, they're looking at them crazy now. But you guys have literally built them for all of this. You built this whole community of people, and now you guys want to speak out and stand up against Donald Trump. But if that gets the conviction, then so
it is. I want to bring up a headline from Newsweek. Kevin McCarthy, who is getting slammed for saying that, quote, everybody across the country is to blame for the Capitol attack. Now, this ties in directly to the impeachment process, because what Donald Trump got impeached over for the second time was the insurrection, right? Was the violence at the Capitol. But now Kevin McCarthy, who is, I believe, one of the House leaders for the Republican Party, I forget his exact title, but he's now trying to equivocate and try to soften the blow for Donald Trump, saying that now we all know it's ridiculous. But I think it speaks to what you're saying, Rebecca, that they're going to position themselves in any way they can to either try to benefit from what remains of the Trump movement, because there's still a large Trump movement. And then you have other Republicans who are going to be willing to throw Trump under the bus in order to make sure that there is no future Trump movement. James, I want to ask you this before we go to a break. How much of the details are the streets watching? Because I'm gonna be honest, we need them to watch, because these things are at a fever pitch, right? The fact that they marched up the steps to the Capitol, willing to tear down this democracy, I think that's something everybody should watch. But then sometimes in the nuances of impeachment versus conviction versus the additional vote that they are going to have to take to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't run again, that's an additional vote on top of it. Like, there's layers and layers and layers to this. How much are the streets watching, and how do we get them to watch even more is my real question.
They're watching a whole lot, especially with the insurrection, the terrorist plot that took place. Excuse me. So everybody is watching now. And I think if people are not, more so the House and the Senate, if they're not on the right side of this and doing what they need to do, I honestly think it has the potential to be some more riots, more protests. I think it can lead up to a lot, especially because, let's be honest, it was you incited this riot. You can't say that you didn't. The evidence shows it. The proof shows it that, you did this. So you need to be charged for it accordingly. And unbelievably, you still have those Republicans out here. I saw an interview over the weekend with Paul Rand yesterday.
Rand Paul, yeah.
Rand
that
Paul,
was wild.
Whatever his name is. I wanted to just go pull this man through the TV screen. I'm like, yo, do you hear yourself right now?
Do we have that clip?
It's just,
What exactly did Rand Paul say that got you all fired
Everything.
up?
Because that's everything.
I heard about it.
Yeah, anytime he opened his mouth, it's ridiculous.
When I tell you, and what was the interviewer's name? It was on ABC. The only thing I know is he was like, "You're not asking my question. Like, do you honestly believe that the election was stolen?"
Yeah.
And he was going all around the question, and it was just like, we still having this conversation, and you're still not admitting to anything. No, there was fraud and voter fraud, and did this.
There are so many people. I'm sorry, James, but there are so many people that are just like Rand Paul, and this is what I'm talking about when I keep speaking about these Republicans now coming out and trying to make sure that they're on the right side of history. Right? We're never going to forget, like Sarah Huckabee. Listen, heifer, we never gonna forget the way you was lying. We never gonna forget that. So you can run all you want to for governor. People are going to always remember where you were, where your place was, and that was lying for Donald Trump. And so when we look at these Republicans coming out and they're questioned about, hey, do you think the election was rigged or stolen? And you're going all around the question, but still trying to say that you weren't a part of the insurrections. Nah, like we're looking at you guys. We're going to remember these moments all the time. You can't clear your name if you can't sit here and tell the truth. Like y'all all are on the same side of history. And I pray that them history books highlight y'all by name
clips because let's go ahead and have these digital. Let's not just read it. I want somebody to open up a history book, their e-reader, and I want them to click on the link, and I want them to go and see that Australian reporter reading her for filth. That's what we need. We need actual clip because we got all the receipts. All right, it's the top of the hour. It's 10 o'clock Eastern. We want to take a quick break. When we come back, we have like 2 or 3 more stories to get through. And then we'll get back here with you on the morning trap. James, it's in your hands. Let's take 5.
Top boy, chopping up this green, guess I got a thing for Bok Choy. Ain't worried about your playlist, bruh. I need an alias, I need a foreign passport, and a change of radius. I don't pay them, but I don't save them, I ain't the glaciers. Need 2 trains like Def Jam to change the glaciers. Titanic crash against flush, you know my wave crazy. Put over with no ID, look like cocaine 80. Same kid with stripes like a ref's average shirt. Got the next magic verse, got my chest tatted first. Treasures, Antioch stores make desperate measures. Back when you had a 1-up, when your shirt said pleasures. Was in the church like elders, was underground like shelters. Made a plan to get it and kept it together like welders. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I'm living stress-free, never catch me.
Shout out to everybody that's joining us this morning watching another edition of The Morning Trap, January 25th.
I wish you could see me now.
Make sure that you stay tuned. Go ahead and get your refill of your coffee, your tea, your drink, whatever your beverage is for this morning. Shout out to my mom and the family, everybody that's checking me out, that's watching. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
My time feel extra now. My instincts dialed in. My senses is dialed up. My sentences chime in. They eyebrows.
Peace is a verb. I appreciate the love.
Scripture. My might is touching the mixture, designing the holy picture. Reminisce on tradition. My fight in the heart with the knockout. Genesis definition of light when God told me pop out. With a smile on my face upon my arrival. It's a difference when racing for your survival. Think I'm poised to win it. Checker flags, waving Nipseyana. Drinking Chardonnay with my little mama banging Rihanna. Icons of this time that we live. I'm facing my every fear. I'm taking time to be still. I'm breaking down every barricade as I wait at the pier. Still waters run deep and I swear it's great to be here. I'm learning patience this year. Chasing greatness this year. I'm making statements before they happen, creating this year. I seen love leave and I seen hatred appear. And my ears adjust to the silence. The snakes I can hear, but it's never scary. The DNA of God hereditary. We all in the same class, but the lessons vary. Old school ambition, but painted extra cherry. Receive the fruits of my labor, I think it's necessary. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I'm living stress-free, never catch me, never test me, oh no. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now, I'm unstoppable. I wish you could see me now.
Crucible, decibel, deuce dropper. I drop Sarah Quills, you can call me up, no topper. Ladies, you can squeeze me like a dropper for your pink eye. I think I might swing by and get proper with my pink tie. Victims of my rhythm, my technique will leave you weak. The physics of my prisms, you can't mimic my mystique. Listen up when I peak like Gwen Stefani, don't speak. If you're a freak, let me slap your other cheek. Yes, I'm lascivious. My fastidious divinations leave you oblivious. Like Odysseus, I'm an Olympian when I get busiest. Still wet when I walk, so I'm amphibious. Amphibious. Check it out. Amphibious. In a quagmire. I gotta find Frodo and get back to the Shire fastidious. Yes, I'm a live wire. I spit fire, so turn up your amplifier. Let me debunk this debacle. I'll fill the holes in your myths like spackle. You scribble your image, but when you scrimmage, you get tackled. I bring joy like a toy in every box like Rack-a-Jackal. What? Transluminal light inside your arteries.
Shout out to Ben. Ben, can you hear me?
Now you can ponder this quagmire into glossaries of hypotheses, or you can accept my words as prophecies. Hypothesize the ideologies, your tragedies and comedies. Yes, I'm an anomaly. Like a sucker.
Red Eye Spy, appreciate that. Dopest DJ on the net. Yeah, I appreciate that love.
But it's only flattery. What they really want is my anatomy, and it's making you mad like the Mad Hatter be. Actually, you've been had. Amphibious in a quagmire. Sink low beneath the willow where I flow fastidious. Yes, I'm a live wire. When I spit fire, don't get caught inside the crossfire. Turn it up. 3, 2. Let me address the attendees in distress. Bewilder you with my finesse. You acquiesce to my aptitude. Imbued with the magnitude, yes, I confess. My attitude is true nevertheless. You can't buy harmonies like these at the pharmacy. You can't receive my perversity in your university. Certainly not Portuguese. From Sao Paulo to Rio de
All I do is stunt till I break a bone. I might go a month in the rest of month. Lemon pepper pack, snatch it out the bone. Yeah, you know where I'm at, this ain't what you know. No. Bread, give me the bread, give me the champagne so I toast. Give me the bread, give me the bread, give me the champagne so I toast. Give me the bread, give me the bread.
Make sure that y'all stay tuned and make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you share, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you know every time that the morning trap is going down and going live. But make sure that y'all in the place tonight. Click Baby Blood Thirst Trap. Going down at 8:30 this evening.
Somebody take what I work for, can't stand the need to see that heaven. Gotta seek the reverend, gotta be a legend. I just need a second, I just need a blessing. Help, I need it in the present, not the future. I ain't used to all the stressing. I confuse a lesson with a loss. I wanna be a boss, I wanna do something impressive. I make it aggressive, with a very tailors, make it interesting. That's a good investment. Bread, give me the bread, give me the champagne so I toast. Give me the bread, give me the bread, give me the champagne so I toast. Give me the bread, give me the bread, give me the champagne so I toast. Give me the bread, give me the bread, give me the champagne so I toast. Shit get risky, me to sip of whiskey, ay. Throw it back like frisbee, ay. Call you back, I'm busy, ay. Nothing to celebrate lately, gotta get back on the defense. I can't relax on the weekends, she said my ego a weakness. I look at that shit like diesel, all of these raps is see-through. I need some money that's legal, do it for all of my people. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Welcome back to the morning trap. We have a lot of news that we've already covered, but I wanted to get into some systemic issues. And let's start with the thief that stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop. So Riley Williams, the 22-year-old woman accused of stealing Nancy Pelosi's laptop during the Capitol riot and allegedly planning to sell it to Russia, was ordered a release from jail under supervision on last Thursday. Attorney for Williams told the court that some of the accusations against her client were overstated, even though we saw what she did, and said her ex-boyfriend who reported her to the FBI has been abusive. According to the Department of Justice, Williams is charged with aid, abet others to embezzle, steal, purloin, obstruct, influence, or impede any official proceeding, knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority, violent entry, and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds. None of these charges are related to the allegation that she planned to sell the laptop to Russia, a claim which the court documents say remains under investigation. The judge told Williams that he was releasing her because she had no prior criminal record, but he warned her and her mother that she could be criminally charged if she does not abide by the supervision requirements. Conditions include restricted travel for all purposes, but the criminal proceeding, home confinement with an ankle monitor, and Williams' mother serving as a third-party custodian. According to the criminal complaint, Williams' former partner shared video clips with investigators that say they had been recorded or live streamed by Williams during the riot. In one video, a woman believed to be Williams can be heard telling a man, "Dude, put on gloves," and I had to say it like that, dude, put on gloves before he passed an HP laptop on a wooden desk. The complaint said Capitol Police confirmed that the video was taken inside Pelosi's office and that an HP laptop was stolen from the office that day. Also, the zip tie guy, the infamous photo that we see with the zip tie guy, his name is Eric Munchel, and I hope I'm saying that right.
Hell nah.
Get our names wrong. So Eric Munchel, the zip tie guy, he was with his mother in the Senate chamber. And after testimony at a detention hearing Friday, Judge Jeffrey Frinsley for the Middle District of Tennessee determined that Munchel wasn't a flight risk and didn't pose harm to the public. Prosecutors have argued that Munchel's offenses are serious enough to detain him pending trial to ensure the community's safety. Munchel is charged with violent entry and disorderly conduct on the Capitol grounds, conspiracy, and civil disorder. He faces up to 20 years if convicted. The evidence supports the conclusion that he intended to contribute to chaos, obstruct the Electoral College certification, and sow fear. Now, he was supposed to be released, but a judge, this is news that just broke this morning, a judge definitely block that. Come on, somebody. And on Twitter, the conversation did pull up where people were comparing two systems of justice. One person said on Twitter, Khalif Browder allegedly stole a backpack at 16, spent 3 years at Rikers Island without trial. Riley Williams stole a laptop from Speaker Pelosi's office and tried selling it to the Russians. She was released to her mother. There are two justice systems in America, hashtag Black Lives Matter. And I think this is very important for us to go into as we go into the conversation to discuss. Basically, Khalif Browder is a story that we've heard of for years, of a young man who allegedly stole a backpack, and they put him in extreme conditions over there at Rikers. And when he got out, it was like, how can he go ahead and live his life? This man had to deal with something so just hearing the stories and that we know how Black men, how Black people are treated in this justice system and how white people literally can do no wrong.
Treason.
And it's not considered wrong. She was released to her mother, a 16-year-old boy and a 22-year-old woman. Let's talk about it.
22. Why the hell she wasn't kept in damn jail? I mean, when I heard this story, it really pissed me off, bro. It really pissed me off because, really, Khalif Browder, this man couldn't get the help that he needed and ended up committing suicide. It's it's really effed up. It really is two different systems of justice in this country. But, of course, we already knew that. We've been knowing it. We've been facing it for a long time.
Facts.
Sick of it.
Facts. Mondale, it sounds like you about to get in there and explain why. Because it's not a broken system. It's operating the way it's designed. Go ahead, man.
Absolutely, the system is running like a well-oiled fucking prison door. It's opening and closing when it's supposed to. It's letting certain people in and locking certain people out. Meaning, white people weren't meant. The prison system wasn't meant for white people. Anybody saying anything else is full of it. Let me explain to you what I'm saying. Before slavery ended, and a great example is in North Carolina. I talked about this before. North Carolina had two prisons in the whole state. As soon as slavery ended, North Carolina built over 200, probably I think somewhere around 300 prisons or jails.
Wow.
For one reason, because if you read the 13th Amendment, it tells you exactly how you can re-enslave Black people.
Exactly. Talk about it.
There's a comma and a but in there, right? That comma and but is all about the prison system. So the ideal of the prison industrial complex is not new. It became the new slavery as soon as slavery ended for Black people. This is why we are overrepresented in the prison population. It was never meant to lock up little Jesse Riley or Bally or Miley or whichever Cyrus she related to. It was all about locking up Tyrone and us and Mr. Browder. That's the system was built for that. The people who put you in the prisons, in jail. Now, if you trace their origins, the first police department, also in my home state of North Carolina, came from where? Slave patrols, slave catchers. people that were notoriously for going to snatch black people, free black people, whether they were right or wrong, just had to be a black body, and bringing them back into the South for slavery. So the history of police snatching black people for anything or nothing and holding them is the history of American slavery. It's the history of this country. It is American. There is no justice system for black people. That's why I push back on the two justice systems. There's one justice system, and that's for everybody other than black people, brown people. There's an injustice system that we are inflicted by. Then it's the justice system that white people get to experience.
So I want to, first off, that everything that Mondale said, I second it. Matter of fact, it needs to be repeated. That needs to be a clip on its own.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go somewhere different. This is one of these media pivots. I'm gonna pivot somewhere different. Your favorite organizations don't talk about this. Your favorite progressive organizations don't talk about it. Your favorite progressive shows don't talk about it. Your favorite progressive and liberal pundits and organizations and parties, new party, old party, they don't talk about this. Everybody wants to talk about other stuff. I always go to black because the most atrocious things that have happened and consistently happen in America that are right in front of our eyes that actually could define you, whether you're progressive or not, whether you support it or not, you want to fight it or not, are things like the injustice system. But we support organizations that pop up out of nowhere, don't want to talk about reparations, don't want to talk about injustice in the criminal justice system. They just want to talk about broad-based things that white America could benefit from, right? And I mean, so listen. No more black votes for Democrats unless y'all actually address this. No more. I'm gonna show up for the Movement for a People's Party because until they start addressing things like y'all ain't addressing the most atrocious things that are happening to Americans right now because that's not what your center is. That's not what your focus is. And yeah, I said specific names. I said Democrats because guess what? At the end of the day, all y'all are gonna need black voters. But Democrats can't do nothing without black voters. Y'all can't win nationally. We proved that. And any other progressive organization, DSA, Movement for a People's Party, anybody who claims they're on doing any kind of progressive work, guess what? Y'all gonna need black people more because y'all definitely don't have the numbers. But y'all don't fundamentally know how to actually center this stuff. And y'all keep popping up. And y'all keep getting blue checks. And y'all keep
funding
people. You keep getting funding. You keep getting all kinds of stuff. And it's like, what are y'all doing with it? Y'all talking about y'all making a major issue out of force the vote. Man, damn a force the vote. I could care less about it because white people are getting out of jail for attacking the Capitol faster for free. Faster.
They get out of jail for free card.
We can get out of jail for going 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. So I mean, y'all got to excuse me if I'm going to redefine what progressive means, because these organizations that are screaming progressive and people's this and that ain't progressive. That ain't about the people. Because if it's about the people, it's progressive. It's about all people, and you address the most atrocious things against society first. Right? That's progressive. The things that are blatantly in front of your face. If women were getting harassed all over the workplace, then you address that first before you decide to give that company your business. If you have organizations or people that are not addressing black issues whatsoever, if you know that Native Americans still have not gotten any kind of respite for their lands being taken away, then you're not progressive. You just talking about how you can make other white people happy that ain't rich.
Speaking about women being harassed in the workplace, no, Rebecca, we're not talking about you.
Why would you say that, Mondale?
I'm teasing, but not really. Joe Biden's pick to run the Department of Defense is straight up about that life. He told the Senate, he told the senators during his confirmation hearing he was going to do something, and that was to check in on the sexual harassment claims in the military. There was serious claims of women, and anybody in those spaces know exactly where this is coming from and how true it is. So I'm super excited about the fact that we're going to be pushing forward with some, he gave them a short deadline to address it and bring up like what their plan is. And on the back of that, we also saw Joe Biden remove the ban on transgender people for the military as well. So it looks like we're seeing some stuff happen that's super exciting about protecting the least amongst us. So Marcus is absolutely spot on, and it's keeping the tradition of what we've seen for the past couple of days.
And actually, what you pulled up, we have that headline of the moves that are being made in the Pentagon. If we could pull, I don't know if we have it ready, but that's an important story. That's one of the stories we wanted to cover because that really speaks to the shift, especially the allowing transgender individuals to be a part of the military. I think it signals a definitive shift in the direction that you're talking about, Marcus, in terms of like you gotta start with the people who are getting brutalized by the system in every aspect of the system, right? So I definitely agree with you on that one, man. That's Lloyd Austin demanding U.S. military sexual assaults. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has given his senior leaders 2 weeks to send him reports on sexual assault prevention programs in the military and assessment of what has worked and what hasn't. So those are important moves.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about Yokosuka, Japan, and the sailors and Marines that got into a lot of trouble for going off base. Yeah,
what's that? Yokosuka, Japan. What you know about Iwakuni, Yokosuka? What Yamaguchi Prefecture? Okay.
I'm a devil dog, Mondale. I'm a devil dog.
I know you are, brother. I know you
Hey,
are.
I got something I think y'all two will appreciate. I think I got two things. I got one clip that y'all will appreciate.
I love when they talk about their experience.
I got something that all of y'all will appreciate. It's these black male voter project coffee mugs that change color as you drink the coffee.
I want one.
You said it changes color?
Look, where's that? I want one.
It gets black when it's cold, and when you put coffee in it,
that's dope. That's dope. So where do we buy them at? Where's the link? Where do we buy it?
It's on at blackmalevoterproject.org.
.org, and there's a merchandise.
Yeah, go to the store.
Y'all all just cut off my point about Yokosuka.
Sorry. Look, support black businesses.
Thank you
go ahead, Marcus.
Hey, y'all all just we were talking about sexual assault, and one of the biggest travesties that happened in military history is Marines and sailors going off base in Yokosuka and literally creating crimes of sexual assault all across the island to civilians, to the point where, the military had to stop people from going off base. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
And I mean, the military didn't cover it up, but if you look it up, you're going to see a lot of conversations about like American military members going and basically forcing themselves on the native Japanese women and men over there on the island, right? One of the biggest stories that has ever happened. And so when this black brother comes in and starts saying, let's talk about sexual assault in the military, probably on and off base, that's why it's important to actually have people who care about the community that's in there.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. That was my point.
Also,
go back.
So no, you can't joke after that, because I mean,
we can't joke. I feel bad. Now we done talked about
And then
we went to the coffee mug. I'm like, where can we buy the coffee mug? And so my bad.
BlackMaleVotersProject.org.
Okay, Mondale, you were trying to make another important point after what Marcus said, and we back to the mugs, which we will get on blackmalevoter.org. But go ahead.
Project.
Let me get it correct. Blackmalevoterproject.org. We will be definitely getting those mugs, and you guys who are watching, you guys make sure you get on that website and get that as well. But you were making a point, though.
No, Marcus was in Japan. I was in Japan. Yeah. So, but I mean, like we both felt the problems of how Japanese people felt about American military being there, not just on the anniversary of Hiroshima, but also like about the raping of the young lady on Okinawa, which is a sore spot in general. Like, so the Japanese people, the natives, really want us gone for the most part out of their country, because it's imperialism that has us there, that kept us there. After World War II, Japanese were not allowed to have a military because that was part of what America made them sign. After we bombed 2 civilian cities, we did not bomb military bases intentionally. And we also dropped the bomb so low that if you go to Hiroshima, you will see you will see like parts of the wall where the blast was so bright from that bomb that it cast their shadow. Like the bomb took a picture of them on the walls. Yeah. So it's absolutely disgusting that imperialism, I'm talking about American imperialism, and it ties right into what Marcus was talking about, the sexual harassment. So I'm super excited that, Marcus, like you said, there's a black man responsible for this, mainly because I think we should talk about something else that happened that is the opposite of this, that black men are responsible for. And that's the brothers who are responsible for beating and biting the sister's eye in Queens,
in Harlem.
Harlem. It was absolutely disgusting that people videoed this and didn't help this sister as this guy tried to bite her eye out, only because she wouldn't allow them to buy her a bottle of wine. She wanted to pay for it herself, and they follow her out the store, and they begin to kick her and beat her and try to literally bite her eye out. It is absolutely disgusting that this is existing, that this is a climate where people would much rather record a video and put it on YouTube and get views and clicks than to protect people. And the sad part about it was, the sad part about it is, bro, one of the people told her when they got distracted to run because one of the guys had did it before. My thing is, that means you know this person, first of all. Second of all, you ain't told the cops about the first time this person did it. And you're in close proximity enough to let this happen to a second person. You two are criminally liable, and that's absolutely disgusting. So that's
with that story, a little bit background, like Mondale was saying. So this woman came from work. You know how it be when you come from work. You just want to wind down. You hit the liquor store that's closest to your crib, so you can just get she wanted to get some wine, and two men were there, and one offered to purchase it, and she declined. And some guys get really butthurt about getting rejected. And so he followed her outside and began to attack her, even biting her face like the animal that he is, while others did watch. And then he grabbed her cell phone, cursing her out and things like that. And while this was going on, like he said, a bystander who knows that this has happened before there said, you better run because they're known to do this before. He's done this before. Now, in this community of Harlem, like I've lived in New York, and I know that where I lived in Brooklyn, it was real gritty. Right. And where, and when I used to go visit my friends in Harlem, like there was that kind of, people will tell me, like, when you're walking through Harlem or when you're walking on this block, they knew this kind of stuff always happened. Make sure you have like a knife in your pocket, or you got pepper spray or whatever, because this happens so often. Now, this happened, and the next day, a woman who led the protests, or people from the Harlem community, came out there and made sure, they're like, this needs to stop happening, to get that word out. And I had reposted that video on Twitter, and it was funny to see the comment section. People were like, oh, well, why didn't they do nothing? Now it's really the community of Harlem. Not to say that to say that this does always happen. And how they prepare us, like when I first moved there, was to say, when you're walking through this neighborhood, this is what you need to do, because these are the type of people that are there, and this is what happens. So it's almost normal. That's why that bystander said, hey, this has happened before, so make sure you run. Like, that's what happens in that community. But I'm happy that everybody, or a lot of the people from that particular community, did come out the following night to highlight, like, this should not be normalized. This shouldn't be normal. Right. And we have to, just because they're black men, we're not going to try to protect them because they're black men in this moment. We got to call them out. We have to call them out, hold them accountable. And that's what they did the night after. So.
Which it sound like, because I haven't seen the video, but it sounds like it sounds like story. Some people should have did it right there in the moment, if I'm hearing y'all correctly.
Yeah.
Right. So they should have had their ass whooped. Excuse my language. I mean, I have no space. I have no space for anybody to move that way. And protecting people like that. I tell people all the time, like, yo, like the code of the street is not about like this type of exploitation. I don't care what nobody tell you, like talking to the cops about this. That, to me, you ain't snitching. Ain't no way you could touch a woman around me and I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't care if she's still gonna go home with you that night. I'm gonna say something, bro. Like I'm gonna say something. Big fans. And when people say you got to pick your battles, well, I'm glad your moral compass allows you to do that. But I don't get to pick my battles because all of them are mine.
Facts.
Especially in this type of when it's about equity or when we're talking about like you trying to bully somebody or beat somebody. Not in front of me, bro. Not in front of me. I'm wired different.
And I wish there were a lot more men to stand in that as well, because we see it all the time where a lot of men will attack a woman, speak down to a woman. There's always videos circulating with that. And it's the comment section for me. A lot of men will be in there like, well, if she didn't, and if she looking at the other men standing around and not saying anything as these
that's
things
just one day
down, it kills me.
We sit up here and we talk about abolishing the police. We sit up here and we talk about we say abolish the police. The street code says don't snitch. All right, well then if we're not snitching and we don't and y'all want to abolish the police, y'all want to defund the police, then we got to police ourselves.
Got to police ourselves.
Like our community has to, our community has to do it ourselves. So, like I do believe that police should be defunded. I do believe that I do believe in some aspects of the no snitching rule sometimes, right? But when it comes to if we have all that going on and we don't want to work with authority, then that means that when you see a woman getting, I mean, it's these dudes be talking this tough guy talk, man, and now I'm gonna go back to like the 1950s and 1960s. The only thing y'all got is y'all guns, right? And without your guns, and some of y'all won't pull the trigger. Some of y'all won't pull the trigger when confronted. Y'all soft as hell. Right. So I'm not going to take the route that everybody else. Well, I'm going to take Mondale's route, but I ain't going to take the route that society and the mainstream media has taken when it comes down to situations like this right here. How come you haven't holding them accountable? Yeah, I will. I'll mess your ass up. I hurt you.
That's why the streets came out.
I hurt you. I hurt you.
So the streets did come out.
The streets came out the following night because it wasn't a story that was really.
But I'm talking about on site.
Yeah,
on site.
So a lot of guys.
I'm talking about like, okay, you know what?
No, when
it's time.
Yes.
When it's going on. Hey, bro. Exactly what in the hell do you think you're doing right now?
Right.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna check whether I got my piece on me, right? And this is in the state where I'm allowed to carry. Now, if y'all try to do that in Atlanta, Georgia, and you see me around, you might want to stop because it's gonna end up in a shootout. I'm telling you right. I'm just telling you right now. Like I'm gonna try to put these paws on you to get you to stop. To get you to stop doing whatever you're gonna do. And if these paws don't work, and you got a problem with that, then we can go other places. But what you ain't gonna do in my community is hurt random women, hurt random people in general. Sorry, MFers.
Here's what I'm saying. I don't even understand who wants to be around. Like who? Like he's done this before. Like who? What type of people are friendly with this type of person?
Why even hang out with that type of person?
Where are we? Where are we in the world? That's like me hanging out with somebody who is bawling and not paying their child support.
Well, these are men that are there's a lot of men in the world that are like that. Rejection, literally, and something as simple as rejection from a woman in front of people. It sets some men off to the point where they have to attack because they were rejected because this woman said, I'm gonna use my own money to buy my own wine because I came in here alone to get my wine. I don't need it.
The flip side of it is if she would have asked him to buy her wine, then she's a gold digger. You know what I'm saying? Like these people.
That's a possibility as well. Yeah,
it's a no win.
That's how weak they're. Yeah, it's a no win situation.
They cowards. Straight up
who's
cowards.
safe in the community? Who's safe in the community with this monster walking down the street?
But that's exactly why the community came out to really point out what you're saying. This is something that, like I said, I moved there. It's almost normal to know that these people live amongst the community. These people who are savages that out here in these streets.
I'm gonna put my paws on you.
I don't even know. Like I don't know how far this clip is gonna go. Like when it comes down to accountability for things like for innocent victims in our community, I'm just gonna put my paws on you, bruh. And if I catch one, you gonna catch one. Like I'm of the Richard Pryor thought process with this thing right here. We gonna
That's it.
listen. I might get my ass whooped, but we gonna find out.
And that's the thing, Marcus. Exactly how you feel, exactly how Mondale feels, exactly how you guys are very mad about it, which is great. I need people to be understandably mad, right? Furious with what's going on because it's not right that women can't just walk to the store in their communities to get wine and fear getting assaulted because they reject somebody they don't even know. But in this case, it showed when the community came out. If you listen to the clip of what they were saying, it's like let's hold these people accountable. Let's figure this out. People were in there like, I'm ready to find out where these men are, what they look like, because if the police ain't gonna do nothing about it, we are gonna do something about it. Right. So it goes into that conversation which you were saying to police ourselves. We gotta police ourselves. So let's go into this community, figure out who them boys is. Ain't no cameras around. What's up?
So let me tell white America real quick. Y'all like vigilante on TV. Y'all like Batman. Y'all made it a $1 billion franchise. Mm-hmm. This is it. I mean, I'm telling. So when people say, "Oh, y'all are for vigilantes or supporting vigilantes," I am. I don't know about the rest of them. I'm absolutely for community policing. It's the nature of the Black Panther Party. Self-defense, like we absolutely need it. And I think what happens is when we are checking our communities, when we got eyes on our own streets in that manner, we become safer, not just from Black people, because that's what they want to say. I'm talking about we become safer from your cops. So this is absolutely necessary for the safety of our communities, not just for patrolling these Bamas, but also the cops that come in our communities and do certain things that are just like this.
And I do want to add and say this as well too, and I'm glad that they came out as a community and they supported our sister. But can we do the same with our transgender sisters as well too? There's so much violence going on
mandatory
with them, and some of the videos that I've seen, I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. You got people that standing there laughing. Do something.
They're murdering them in cold blood and leaving them for dead.
In cold blood.
And no one says a thing. These stories have to be highlighted on from small LGBTQIA communities, but we never really, and I can't say we, but like media never really picks up on it as a conversation either. This is what's happening. Like these our transgender brothers and sisters are dying literally from the same type of men, because rejection or because they don't want to be exposed. These are things that are happening every day. And
if I may add something, I'm just going to say this right here. I have put my hands on folks. I might be risking going to jail right now over the same things that we talking about, trans folks, LGBTQ folks, old people. I done got into about 6 fights in my life, and all of them have been me trying to stop somebody from her. I'm nuts. We can move on, man, because this is triggering me. I'm
it's
just
triggering you.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm just saying this, man. Like, look, check this out. I ain't a violent dude until I see stuff like that, right? So, and
I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
And what I'm saying is, like, okay, maybe there needs to be a lot more people like me, right? But like, I ain't worried about what no white person got to say to me. I ain't worried about what no cop has to say to me. Pot right here in Atlanta, Georgia, saw 2 cops beating up a homeless dude and shot him twice in the butt, right? And got off, and he didn't get caught. It's in most of us to protect our own neighborhoods, right? But you got folks who either want to leech off the neighborhood, got so comfortable in the neighborhood that they think they become these violent sort of predators within our neighborhoods. But I don't do predators, man, because I know y'all soft, right? All you got to do is stand still. All you got to do is stand still and hold your hands out high, right? Like and scare a bear away. Y'all ain't even bears. Y'all puppies. Soft ass puppies.
I'm gonna sit on this show and tell the truth. I am extremely violent. Like I am extremely violent. No, and I'm not saying it to like be bad. I'm saying I am extremely violent. Like I am a violent person. It's my mode of handling problems. It's my choice. It's my mode of choice. Now, I am Jesus type of violent, right? If you go through, Jesus was 33 years old when he was finished, when his life was over before the resurrection. Dude was super violent. People won't tell you that. People talk about Jesus was this non-violent person. I don't know which Bible you were reading. Jesus was all about property damage. Jesus called some of the disciples Satan, which at that time is the worst curse word you can say to someone. That is verbal abuse. That is violence. Jesus was all about what he did to the herd of pigs or whatever they are, the fig tree, the money changers. I'm all that type of violent all the time, bro. All that time.
Chasing those swine.
You tap into that violence when need be, right? You're not just violent just for no reason. Because, white folks is watching and they see a black man, your skin color, your beard, they're gonna associate that with aggressiveness. Listen, you utilize
Absolutely.
it. You pull up with that violence when need be. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you got the right one type of moment, and you also got the wrong one.
So for me, hold on a second. Let me finish this. Hold on, Marcus. Because for me, I need to finish this because I need white people to know that when you approach me or anybody, I don't have the same disposition for white people that Barack Obama does. My first instinct is you gonna do me wrong. Until you prove me that you're not a rattlesnake, no disrespect to fam. But what I'm saying, until you prove me that you're not a venomous animal trying to attack me, I'm automatically assuming that's the way you're moving. That's because America has my DNA feeling that type of way. I am coded to know that you look like who is trying to finish me in some way, politically, policy-wise, cop-wise, some type of system that your folk created is trying to kill me on a daily basis. So I need you to prove to me that you're not.
I want to just add one thing. First off, Rebecca, I was just about to say the same thing. I don't give a damn what a white person said about me no more. I used to, but I don't care. White people, you can look at me and say, "Oh, he's violent." Guess what? You violent. Your ancestors violent. Your whole country, your whole essence is violent. Everything. All your cousins at Thanksgiving are violent.
So damn system.
The books you write are violent against me. I don't care about what they have to say. Secondly, first, rattlesnakes only bite when they're provoked. So, you know what I mean? I don't even want to compare some of these white folks to rattlers because, they don't go seeking to go bite somebody.
But I'm comparing you guys to rattlesnakes. You guys will be violent when you're provoked.
We have centered whiteness. I have had to deal with centering whiteness so long when it comes down to situations like this that I don't have to give an explanation to non-white person about me policing my community.
Yeah.
I don't.
Right.
I don't have to explain nothing to y'all. I don't have to explain a damn thing. Why? Because y'all had your opportunity to brand identify what helping out black communities could look like. And y'all decided to take it the negative route where every time they show a suspect on there, you show the one thug pictures that you have over a black person getting killed. Y'all did that, not black folks.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Y'all, you don't have no more say-so in how we conduct, feel about our communities. The only thing you can do is ask us for a vote at this point and and help us out with reparations if you really care. Besides that, get the hell out of my way, bro. Just y'all just go on about your business.
Bell Hooks said, talking about where this conversation began at, so we can move on if we want to. But this is as a bookend. But Bell Hooks said, when men sit around and talk about, this is. If you know Bell Hooks, you know that she's a straight shooter. She said, when men sit around and let their friends talk about like their sexual experience with women and talk about pounding her body part,
vagina.
You two are participating. You two are participating in violence against women. And I think, and when she said it the first time, I was like, wait, what? You're talking to your friends about sexual encounter is a form of violence. And honestly, it took me a while to see it, but like that is absolutely, it absolutely is. Because the desensitizing to like what that incident, what that situation is supposed to be and how, it's dangerous. So yeah, man, I just want to say that we need to get serious about sexual assault and also abuse. This type of abuse that happened in that community, and people shouldn't be comfortable. You should be throwing your phone at the person. If you're afraid to fight them, throw your phone and run or something, but don't sit there and record what's happening to that woman. Exactly.
Yeah. Rebecca?
I think everybody put up that last point that you put, Mondale. We have been desensitized with a lot of these things that happen, as far as with women and assault and things like that. Going down to the Me Too movement, it's just a lot that I can go into, and this show will go on forever. So don't even want to get into that right now, but definitely we touched on, and I'm glad that you brought that story up, because
that was a good story. It's important.
It's very important that we touched on that, because it wasn't getting as much push. And because, of course, Black Twitter is going to do the work, and they were bringing it out there. And a lot of the conversation that we had this morning was a lot of the conversation that was going on in the comment section. I think was a healthy debate, but to see how many men were like, "What we were supposed to do? What could?" Or white people were always also commenting saying, could we get a little bit backstory on what the woman was doing, or why she was in that certain neighborhood? I mean, she lives in that neighborhood, and I was ready to literally rip these people apart because I reposted it, and that's a lot of the conversation that was happening. But yeah, no, this conversation needed to happen, and one key thing is for us to really police ourselves. And like Marcus said, we don't got to explain anything to white folks or anything like that, but they do need to hear these conversations. Right. So you don't step into territory that don't belong to you. So like in the comment section, like, don't be in there talking about, why was she in that area?
Watch your mouth.
Like, don't.
Keep your hands on the hood and watch your mouth. Stay out of conversation. Exactly. Anyway, the point is, I agree with everything. I agree with everything that was said. So if all hearts and minds are clear, because I think it's very clear, we ain't a killer, but don't push us.
Yeah.
That's it. That said, any last word? Everybody, give a shout out to what you're working on, where they can find you. Let's go around the room real quick.
Look at the mug. Look at the mug. He's giving a shout out once again to the blackmalevoterproject.org. You can get this mug that actually turns black when it has cold. You said cold substance in there. It could be like a nice cold water.
Or when it's empty,
Or when it's empty, it's black.
Mm-hmm.
See,
that's dope.
The inside is white, is black, but when it's filled with substance, preferably coffee, it turns white.
Come on.
So,
what happens when the cup runneth over? What happens? Does it turn color when it runs over?
When there's a hot, dark substance in there, it runs over. But when it's white, it's empty and black on the outside. Meaning, to cup.
What's the meaning? What's the meaning, Wanda?
So let me give it to you. Let me give it to you now. So black, here we go. Marcus said about the hotep through this, Marcus. Watch me hotep through it.
Do it, dog. Do it.
So listen. So when the inside is white, it's empty. It's empty. But for the protection of the blackness to hold it together.
My brother.
We have nothing. We have nothing but for the blackness. But when you fill it with a dark substance, substance that's hot from the core, when it's fresh off the pot, that will have whiteness on the outside. Whiteness only exists because of the dark. Whiteness only is revealed when the dark substance runs over. It is darkness. It is darkness that fills the world.
Wait, we got to find Mundell's key.
Come on, somebody.
We got to find Mundell's key. Good. Just say knick-knack, paddywhack, Mundell, so we can find your key.
Knick-knack, paddywhack.
He's in the beat. No, he's down here. Say it again, Mundell. Knick-knack, paddywhack.
I like that.
Why is Ben really trying to choir direct right now? Why is he like?
No, because if I had a Hammond organ, I'd make you preach, bro. We can get that a preach.
I hear it.
Marcus, what you working on? Where can they find you, and what you want them to know about?
Follow Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap tonight. Watch it. Y'all watch us tonight. Come back tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Watch Morning Trap. Watch Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap tonight. Follow me on Twitter, Marcus for America on Instagram and Twitter. I got news, but I don't got news because I'm just waiting for all the good news, which is coming to me. So,
amen.
I want everybody to have an amazing. Straight up, man. I want everybody to have an amazing week, man.
That's what's up.
Right.
And socially distanced, right? You know what I'm talking about?
That's it. Mundell, we got your Black Male Voter Project, but did you tell them where to find you?
Yeah, Mundell Robinson everywhere on social media. Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah, and So yeah, as it pertains to good news, man, like listen, this week is important to your life because it's the only one we have right now. So do what Marcus said and have an amazing week, man. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Go out there and get it. Rebecca, what's popping?
Yeah, I see that. So what's popping with me, as usual, other than my skin. So you guys can follow me on Twitter at Rebecca Azor, REBECCA-AZOR. So, and I'm just excited about this show that we are developing with each other. And you know me, every time I get on with you guys, I just feel more and more like we're becoming a family, and I get all excited about that. So make sure you guys follow The Morning Trap on Instagram, because we just created one called The Morning Trap Squad. Make sure y'all follow that. And make sure you guys tune into Clickbaity this evening at, was it 8:30? Guys?
Rebecca, if you don't hurry up, I've been sending you messages in the Slack the last 5 minutes. We got to hurry. Bubba.
So no, Bubba, I gotta make sure I got the right time. You guys go ahead. Clickbaity at 8:30.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys tune into Clickbaity at 8:30, and make sure you guys tune in every morning, 8ish, whatever, with The Morning Trap. Go ahead, Bubba.
Bubba, tell the people where to get up with you, bro. Hurry up.
Of course, you can follow me, DJ X3C, DJ X3C on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else, Cash App, Venmo, and DJ Exclusive on PayPal. Love y'all, and I mean it.
Hey, y'all know where y'all can find me. Y'all can find me in the A. DJ Exclusive is in your hands. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Love y'all. Mean it. Bye.
Peace out, y'all.
Even if it all falls through, even if it all falls through, it's never gonna change us, too. It's never gonna change us.
All right, y'all. I'm not gonna stay long with y'all this morning. It was a great show today. Great show. We talked about a lot of stuff, and man, it ran good. So I want to thank y'all so much for joining us. Get y'all this one song, and then it's gonna be a wrap for the morning trap this morning. Make sure that you hit the share button, like, subscribe, and follow, so you know when we always going live. Okay, and make sure you check out the Instagram as well too. Don't want to miss out on that, man. It's your boy DJ Exclusive. Love y'all, and I mean it.
Ain't no food. Hold it in, hold it tight. It's gonna be alright. Can I get my raincoat on? Can I get my peacoat on? Can I get a hand though? Can I get a tan though? Can I get my Lambo on? Even if it all falls through, even if it all falls through, it's never gonna change us, too. It's never gonna change us, too. Even if it all falls through, even if it all falls through, it's never gonna change us, too. It's never gonna change us. It's all for you. I know exactly what to do. But even if it all falls through, even if it all falls through, they're never gonna change us. They're never gonna change us. Give me a dip, I'll ride it like a wave. Give me a tip, we'll turn it to a craze. We're blowing it up so we can share some pie. We're pumping it up, hold until you die. Never bought enough, never give it up, always live it up. We can mix it up, give $100, I can lift it up. I'm like the picture perfect page. Praise crypto gods, we believe in. Even if it all falls through, it's never gonna change us, too. It's never gonna change us. Even if it all falls through, even if it all falls through, it's never gonna change us, too. It's all. Even if it all falls through, they're never gonna change us. They're never gonna change us.
Looking at me that way, I know what you're thinking. You mad, wanna leave, don't walk out. Round and round we go, find it hard to believe me. I know it's kinda hard to stay, but think about everything that we have now. Yeah. Baby, it's too much to lose. Right now it's hard to see, girl, just close your eyes and tell me that you will stay tonight. Come on, baby, stay tonight. Don't go, promise you I'll make it right. Girl, let's just sleep on it for tonight. Let me change your mind. When the morning comes, I wanna wake up with you, 'cause girl, I finally see it, yeah. I never even knew how much I really need you until I saw you walk away. Think about everything that we have now. Yeah, baby, it's too much to lose. Right now it's hard to see, girl, just close your eyes and tell me that you will stay tonight. Come on, baby, stay tonight. Don't go, promise you I'll make it right. Girl, let's just sleep on it for tonight. Let me change your mind. When the morning comes, I wanna wake up with you, 'cause you're the only one I love. Come on now, think about everything that we have now. Yeah, baby, it's too much to lose. Right now it's hard to see, girl, just close your eyes and tell me that you will stay tonight. Come on, baby, stay tonight. Don't go, promise you I'll make it right. Girl, let's just sleep on it for tonight. Let me change your mind. When the morning comes, I wanna wake with you, 'cause you're the only one I love. Come on,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for your boy DJ Exclusive IE James Bubba Williams. Again, we thank you so much for tuning in this morning and checking out another episode of The Morning Trap. Make sure that you follow, make sure you like, share, subscribe so you know when we're going live. We'll see you definitely in the morning. And on behalf of Rebecca, Ben, Mundell, Marcus, and myself, we love you. We mean it. Mwah. We'll see you in the morning. Peace out.